thepascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high, cause St. Louis is ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold on, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live, somebody. Let's go.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Hope you guys are all doing well out there. Hope your day is doing very good. It's Friday. Thank you, Jesus, it's Friday. Have mercy. It's been a long week. I don't know about you guys, but it's been a long week. And I got to tell you, I am excited for the weekend, or at least something of that sort. How's that? Okay. We got a lot to talk about here, and it's going to be really sticky. I'm just going to say that really quick. The reason why I say it's going to be really sticky is because of the content in which we are consuming, okay? So I'm going to be trying a bunch of different things because I, of course, don't want us to get in a whole lot of trouble out here. You get what I'm saying, for fair use reasons and all that stuff, okay? But I definitely could not leave this off the table, right? This conversation and this whole thing that's going on, this interview that basically has broke the internet. Yes, it is broken it the internet like crazy, okay? And sorry, guys, I just had like a huge sneezing fit just a little bit ago, so just bear with me. Something's going on today. But nonetheless, I'm here to give you guys this conversation, and it's a conversation that we need to have. There's a lot to dissect in here, and we're going to try to go bit by bit. So like I said, just bear with me because of stuff. I got to finesse through this thing. Understand that, okay? So do me a favor before we get everything moving. Do me a favor, hit that like button down below. That'd really mean a lot. Hit that reaction button if you're watching on Facebook. You know, hit that like button if you're watching on any other platforms as well. That'd be greatly appreciated. All right. And of course, do not forget to crush that subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube. If you're watching on Facebook, hit that follow button. Follow me on all my social medias. The Pascal Show, one word. That's on TikTok, X, and on Instagram. Please and thank you. Okay. Woo. All right, guys. We got a lot to get into. There's a lot to dissect. There's a lot of conversation here, and there's a lot of video to watch. I got so many videos to pull up and show you guys. And like I said, I'm going to try to finesse as best as I can. So like I said, it might be a little bit of a choppy show, but it's because of the amount of content that has been thrown, resurfacing. Let's just say that. A lot of content that has resurfaced, a lot of conversations that are being brought back up, old things that may have been buried, old hatchets that have been buried are now coming back up. It's been absolutely insane. And what I'm talking about, obviously you see the title above or below, wherever you're watching this show. Katt Williams had a huge, electrifying, shocking, explosive interview or conversation, really, with Shannon Sharpe on his show, Club Shay Shay. Now, I want to say something here, too. I really love how Shannon kind of conducts his shows, his conversations. He later on talks about this and says, like, he's not a journalist. So these aren't interviews. These are just conversations with people. These are conversations with celebrities of all kind, from sports to comedy to movies to faith, you name it, right? And so he had this very interesting, shocking, again, explosive conversation with Katt Williams. And Katt Williams went off. This man lost his mind in this interview. And I'm telling you right now, within the first 35 minutes of the interview, okay, within the first 35 minutes of this interview, Katt was going in. He came in ready. He was on one. He went in and he was out the gate. Bow, 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 bow. Just going after everybody. Okay. So I got the clip, the first 35 minutes of the conversation. I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to do this, if I'm going to share with you guys, or if I'm going to try to find pieces here, but still crazy stuff here. And the question you see in the title, and I'm going to ask you guys now, and I'm going to ask you guys again later, and I'm going to ask you guys in the middle of the show too, okay? Because I'm a repetitive mother lover. Is this him telling the truth, or is this a guy who's just bitter and jealous? You got to remember, you got him going after Kevin Hart, Steve Harvey, Cedric the Entertainer, and a slew of other people, okay? He goes in. Now, one thing I think is interesting is how some of these other comedians have reacted. They may have reacted years before, or they're currently reacting to the things that he's saying out here. This man, Katt Williams, is saying, homie, let me just say this, okay? Guys, ladies and germs, the man is saying and claiming that his jokes have been stolen, okay? That he's had jokes that were out here, but the only thing that certain comedians have done is change the vehicle, right? Instead of it being a car, it ends up being a spaceship, right? There's a lot of claims, a lot of allegations, a lot of things that he said in this interview with Shannon Sharpe. Now, the thing is let me just share with you guys like the actual still so you can see what I'm talking about here. Okay, but he went in. And of course, not only are other comedians speaking out about this, but there are also other come on, where the heck is it? Okay. There are also other videos and clips from old things that are now starting to pop back up again, where people are just basically like, yo, this is, you said this before, and now this ish is coming back. You see what I'm saying? So hold on. That's the wrong clip. Hold on, guys. Did I get that? No. Hold on. Let me make sure I got this. I thought I had it. No, that ain't it. Come on, man. I thought I had it. Sorry, guys. 2 seconds. Okay. While I got that getting settled up, all right, I will share with you guys this still, so you can see what I'm talking about. So again, he went on this very explosive, mind-blowing conversation. And the thing is I want to make this abundantly clear. He has said these things before. A lot of these things he has said before, okay? Yes, even Ludacris. He goes in on Ludacris. He talks about Earthquake. He talks about Gary Owens. He talks about everybody, okay? He talks about everybody that's like top of the game. Tiffany Haddish, all right? He goes in on every single person, right? And the thing is it still makes you wonder if this is somebody who is angry, upset about the opportunities that may have been offered to him, that he said no to, that catapulted other really great comedians, put their names out here for everybody to know and see. Like, for example, Kevin Hart, okay? Even Ricky Smiley, okay? Ricky Smiley is highly revered, okay? Deeply loved out here, all right? But at the same time, I mean, is he Kevin Hart level? I doubt that, okay? No disrespect to Ricky Smiley. I mean, I love his platform, okay? And I love what he does on his radio show. But he found his niche. He found his angle. He found his thing, right? Steve Harvey, same thing. He just goes in like these people are stealing jokes. They're wearing fake hair. They're wearing man pieces, as he says. This man's wearing a man piece, right? Which we are going to talk about that in just a little bit too. But he goes in on all this, and it's pretty insane. Okay, so I will be putting up a poll in just a little bit because I do want to hear your, see your votes on this. Okay, so remind me a little bit later on in the show. I know like 99.9% of y'all will remind me. Okay, but we are going to take a look at some of this, and again, we are going to be going bit by bit. I'm going to be doing small screen. I'm going to take it off. I'm going to be going back and forth. Okay, you're going to still be able to hear the audio, but I'm going to be taking out the video quite a bit because of the fair use situation and all that. Okay. But in this particular one, this is the one where, in all one fell swoop, he is going in on every single person that we even know, love, and respect and love as comedians. It's absolutely crazy. And Tyler, you ain't wrong. This man snaps. He snapped, and it just doesn't stop. Again, this is right at near the very top of the show. And I'm telling you right now, Shannon Sharpe show, Club Shay Shay, is about to blow the F up. It's about to go to a whole other stratosphere now. Now he's going to be up there with the likes of Joe Rogan, which I'm there for. Okay? I am there for it, right? We need other people in that platform to take a little bit of room up there, aside from Joe Rogan, because Joe Rogan only has a certain amount of people that he likes having on his show, right? So what about the other world? What about the other demographic that wants to hear these kinds of conversations, that wants to get real? I'm sure I'm going to say this again later, but again, Club Shay Shay about to blow all the way up. Okay, up. It's going to blow all the way up, y'all. It's about to be insane. But I'm gonna ride this slowly, okay? And I will say this too. I think I said it earlier, but I'll say it again. I love how he does his conversations. I've watched almost not every single interview, but the ones that really I've seen majority of his interviews on Club Shay Shay. He's got something really, it's dope. It's just dope, and he's just funny. He's funny how he just delivers questions and all that, but that's neither here nor there. So let's take a look at this. Let's take a listen to this. We're gonna get started. Katt Williams, man, and we got so many receipts. We're gonna be looking at so much stuff. People have been pumping out receipts like a mother lover. We're gonna be watching this and taking look at those things as a family. Holy cow! Get ready. Enjoy this. Please do me a favor, hit that like button down below. Please, 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 and thank you. Let's get it past. I know a lot of y'all still trying to get in here. It is, I know, Friday morning and all that. So wake your ass up. All right. Hit that like button down below. Let us get it past 400 likes. Okay. A like don't cost a thing. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, please, and thank you. Hit that follow button if you're watching on YouTube or on Facebook. That'll be greatly appreciated. Let me get this super chat. Kimberly in Japan, what's up? Hopefully you're doing well. Hopefully you're safe in Japan. Happy New Year, Pascal and Fan Burgers. Love y'all. Hey, happy New Year's to you as well. Hopefully everything's good over there in Japan. Are you safe? Please put that in the comment section. I would love to know in the family chat. All right. Anyway, let's get into this.
Yeah, I'll need you to tell us why. People know I don't go everywhere. I'm not interested in talking to people unless it's like a Larry King or somebody of an amazing ilk that I would actually want to go talk to in real life.
Okay.
I don't do it so I can sell product, and I got things to sell, so let me come talk. Tell you straight up lies. I'm talking about things that have never been heard in all of Black Hollywood. They feel comfortable sitting here and lying to you about it.
You gonna set the record straight?
Are you kidding me? You let Ricky Smiley sit here and you said out that mouth, you stole Friday After Next, the one I was in.
Okay. Hold on really quick. I have receipts. We're coming back. Like I said, we're going to be going piece by piece. He's talking about this. Actually, let me just let him finish that piece real quick.
I wish all of America fumbled a bit when that happened. And then he said some stuff that we haven't heard in 100 years in Hollywood. You ain't say nothing. This man told you he had Katt Williams' role. He was gonna be Money Mike, and Katt Williams was gonna be the Santa Claus. Now let's
hold on. Pause. Like I said, this is gonna be a sticky show. It's gonna be sticky. But I got a clip. I got a clip that we definitely got to play. Okay, that's 158, 148. I bet we have definitely got to listen to this.
You were originally supposed to play Katt Williams' character.
Yes. And Katt Williams was supposed to play my character. And somebody said, no, we want you to play Mike.
The Santa Claus.
Right. And then, because Katt Williams was going to be the Santa Claus.
Right.
And then, and they switched it over.
Right.
Because when I auditioned for Mighty Mike.
Right.
You know, so when I went in there to audition, I'm at the toilet. When Katt Williams went to use the bathroom, that's the line I had to use to audition. So they switched it up. So I was like, yeah, I can do this Santa Claus role Friday, but I didn't know that because I did my role like in 4 days.
Right.
They shot all my stuff in 4 days. I went back to Birmingham, came back out because they changed the ending. Did you know that?
Right. No, I didn't.
No, you know the ending, but they got the fighting or whatever. The ending was me Santa Claus giving out presents to his kids.
Right.
So the test audience didn't like the way it ended. So
Interesting. Okay. So that's the conversation that he was having, all right, on Club Shay Shay with Ricky Smiley. Okay. And if you don't know who Ricky Smiley is, he's got a huge radio show, Ricky Smiley Morning Show. It's in syndication, which if you're in syndication, you're making that money. Okay. And so he's got quite the fan base. Okay.
And I needed you to know why.
Long-standing fan base. Okay. So the reason why I say that, I'm playing that for you guys is it's important for everything else that I'm going to be playing here too, within the Ricky Smiley conversation. Let's continue on with Katt Williams. Speaking on the Ricky Smiley stuff.
Gonna be the Santa Claus. Now let's 3 quick points. You mean in Hollywood they cast a 5'5" black Santa Claus that weigh 145 pounds? That's your story. Your story is the Ricky Smiley that couldn't even do curse words because he had a Christian fan base. He was gonna play the pimp. Why you didn't ask him why has he played a woman in more movies than he's played a man?
So let's talk about that, shall we? Now, there's a lot to say about that piece because it seems like we live in a world where anytime a black man, a black actor, male, of course, wants to get on, wants to find that level of success, they have to put a wig on. They got to put the muumuu on. They got to do this type of, mama act. Now, even Dave Chappelle said this in a very iconic interview with Oprah. This is right after he left and went to Africa. Okay? This is the real stuff. This is real stuff, y'all. And I know some of y'all will be like, that's cap. That's cap. No, it's real. Look at Eddie Murphy. Look at Tyler Perry. Look at even Ricky Smiley. Look at all the people, even Kevin Hart. Look at all the people. All right. Look at all the people that are big names that we all know. They're just as common as saying Pepsi or Coke. And you look back at their repertoire and see if they never wore a dress, not even once. Okay. A lot of times you're seeing a dude wearing a wig and going, and doing this whole thing. Hello, whatever it may be. Interesting, right? Some of them stay in those stockings, in that muumuu, in that wig. Some of them have progressed and graduated on because there was better opportunities, maybe more money, so on and so forth. But at the same time, Think about that for a second. There is no lie here. He's saying something that's absolutely true here. How often do you see these black men that are trying to get on, that are going to be that next success, people are getting excited about? How often do you see them donning a dress and wearing a wig for comedy? A lot of times you see that kind of stuff. Let me continue, because he ain't wrong, baby. He is not wrong, okay?
Well, I didn't know
he shouldn't be able. You wouldn't let a athlete that been on steroids talk about one of the greats. Ricky Smiley can't act because Ricky Smiley can't act. He told you the story about when the movie came out. Where did he say he watched it? At home. He wasn't even at the premiere. You telling this man you stole that. Oh, so he could get his name in the same sentence with a great one.
The other thing is like, I get Katt Williams' frustration here, but it could be just a matter of semantics, right? That he's just said in the interview, hey, I heard you stole this role, right? Not to make it sound like, oh, you stole it from the great Katt Williams, right? That maybe he's just like, I heard you stole that role. Tell us a little bit about it. Tell us the story. If that's true, what's the story? You see what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with that, in my personal opinion. Okay? Nothing wrong with that. That's what interviewers or conversationalists do on their podcasts. They ask the questions. And one thing I will say, and I'm going to continue saying this too, is that I appreciate Shannon for just kind of chilling. He was sitting on the fence. But I know also that a lot of the people that he knows, this guy's actually talking ish on. He personally knows them too. So it's like, oh, he does that. He falls back. He's like, oh, man, oh. Katt, come on, Katt. You know what I mean? Because for a fact it's going to upset everybody that he's associated with. And then they're all automatically going to look at him and be like, how dare you let this man go onto your platform and speak wireless on this mic? Well, that's Katt Williams for you, right? And if you give him a platform, if you give him the microphone, he's going to talk. He's going to talk his talk, right? So I'm wondering, when it comes to the backlash, not on Katt Williams, because everybody's aiming for Katt Williams right now. But I'm wondering what kind of backlash Shannon Sharpe is getting right now, right? What he's getting right now from the people that Katt Williams is talking ill on. Very interesting.
It is sad. He was just that bitter when we were shooting it. He told everybody, it should have been my role. Everybody on the scene. Why do you think no cast member has ever said anything?
He couldn't have played that role like you. I thought he was.
Sir, no one. Why no? He was with KD. He beat up Terry Crews. Why nobody know this story? You talking about in Hollywood, they switched off roles. You take this and what? So Ricky Smiley knows this. It's because, well, why would he lie? I don't know why liars lie, but I can tell you this. We auditioned in Los Angeles.
Yes.
I was audition number 201. 200 black comedians auditioned for the role of Money Mike with me. You're saying all 201 of us was auditioning and you had already had the role and had already shot the role in 4 days? The truth of the matter is the Money Mike in the original script got raped in the bathroom. And that's what Ricky Smiley was okay with.
Oh, yeah. Let's not forget that too. I think it's really interesting that also back in the day, at least, obviously things have changed now. All right. But there have been things in the past in movies and comedy, especially, where the emasculation of black men was part of the comedy. Right. And especially in this particular movie, Friday After Next, there's a scene, there's a comedic part where Ricky Smiley's character gets R'd, right? And they're like, okay, they're using this as comedy. Again, the emasculation of the black man in this comedy. Not only are they, you know, having these black men come out here wearing wigs and muumuus and all that. Now, to add more comedy to it, we're gonna put out this kind of essay as well, you know, to emasculate these men again. And this is actually what happened. And of course, Katt Williams continues to say,
Katt Williams had to take the risk in front of the studios and the cast and our powers that be in his very first movie and say respectfully, humbly, guys, if we're talking about anything else, I have no credibility and I have no pull. But we're talking about comedy,
Right.
where I have all the credibility and all the pull. The problem with Friday After Next is we're trying to make a classic comedy. And this comedy involves a rape. And rape is never funny, no matter who it happens to or what the circumstances are.
I couldn't agree more. I don't know why somebody would think that this would be funny, right? Somebody being taken advantage against their will, that kind of thing. How is that funny? But at the same time, those were different times. Let's not forget that. Those were definitely different times. So I totally agree with him on this. Where's the funny, right? Where's the funny?
If you would allow me to allow us to do this movie without a black man getting raped in it, I promise you that it will be twice as funny as it would be with him getting raped.
Okay. So he said that to apparently the powers that be, and he didn't get that role. That's when Ricky Smiley apparently got the role. Let's continue.
So considering that's the real story, why would you bring up that story? 35 members of the cast and crew have never brought up that Ricky Smiley was going to play Money Mike. No one ever saw me put on a Santa Claus suit. We got a wardrobe department. They made a Santa Claus suit for me. Why that wasn't in the bloopers? Why? And here's the other thing. Everything that Money Mike said, Katt Williams wrote. So what Ricky Smiley say on his? You can't say my lines, I wrote them. That's how I already know that I'm going to be funnier than you. What he told everybody was Katt Williams, and don't nobody know who he is. I'm on the radio. I'm with Steve and Said. Everybody know me. That's what he told everybody that would listen to on the set.
Now, here's the thing. I mean, look, I'm going to ask you guys now again, jealousy or the truth? I will say this, though, and I'm sure I'll repeat myself later, but there's always two sides to a story. And there's always a story behind a role that you were supposed to get, but you never got it. There's always your side, and then there's the other person's side, and then somewhere in between, there's the truth. Let's not forget that. So when we hear about this particular part, about his role in trying to get the studio or the producers to change one small piece in this role, and that's the reason why he didn't get that role, I don't see him being wrong for thinking that or believing that that is the reason why they opted him out and chose somebody else. I don't blame him for him thinking that. That could very well be his perspective on it. So I don't see a lie here. I don't. I see somebody who's offered a role. He looked at the role. He looked at the script. He said, "Can we take this piece out? Because I'm not cool with that part." And they said, "Okay, no worries. It's Hollywood. There's somebody else out here that's funny, just as funny, or maybe not as funny, but has a name out here that will be more than happy to wear the Santa Claus outfit and go through this particular scene for the sake of comedy. But we'll still give you a part. You'll just be playing this particular role instead of that." If that's his perspective, I believe that. It's like, okay, I said this. As soon as I said that, at least in the timeline, in my perspective, boom, things got changed. Things got shifted. Okay. I didn't get the role. Ricky Smiley got the role. But you can't say that it was stolen because he was funnier. I get that. And you know what? The other thing I noticed, I didn't realize this though too. I didn't realize how competitive. I didn't realize how competitive comedians really are. I really didn't know that. I mean, he says more later on, but damn, I didn't realize how competitive this ish really is. That's insane to me. Okay. And tragic, because you think it's like, okay, it's, it's like almost like a fraternity. It's a boys club and girls club too, but it's mostly a boys club. I figured that they all just, friends, chilling. Oh, that dude's funny, mad respect, so on and so forth. I'm sure I get it that there's some beefs out there, right? But at the same time, I didn't know that there was so much competition between them all. It's insane. Or at least competition, or at least animosity towards Katt Williams. Let's just be real. It's pretty crazy, okay? And yes, Nicole B said friendly competition. I agree. There is friendly competition. There's nothing wrong with that because, it keeps you on your A game so that, it keeps your chops tight, makes you want to make the funnier joke and all that, right? But still, dang, right? Pretty crazy. But let's continue. Let's see what else he has to say.
That's the truth of the matter. He was so egregious, not now, then. He was so egregious that, and Hollywood has never heard this in 100 years. He was so egregious, I put in my contract that I won't work with Ricky Smiley again unless he's in a dress. Now, what was Ricky Smiley's next movie? Was it First Sunday? Did he wear a dress in it? You bet he did. It's in my contract.
Why would you put that in your contract, Katt?
That's where he's a believable actor.
Damn. He said that. All right. That's where he's a believable actor. Okay. I mean, obviously he's out here he's trying to take heads. Okay. He ain't playing, guys. All right. He big mad. Why he's big mad? I don't know. Okay. But Soft Sound says, Katt is mad because he's blackballed. Yeah, I mean, he pretty much is, because he comes out here. And he talks crazy. I mean, seemingly he talks wild, right? He goes in, he says all this stuff. A lot, but now there's a few things that are now coming out where you're like, okay, he had a point there. You see what I'm saying? It's kind of like Jaguar Wright. You see what I'm saying? Where she's been saying all kinds of stuff. People look at her like she's, like she's off, but she's out here saying some stuff. You're like, damn. Okay. Now it's like, okay, how you like me now? You miss my rants. You miss my moments where I was telling you guys, the truth as we're hearing about Diddy and a slew of other people. It's interesting. The other thing too, just a random thought. What is going on? What is the news about Christian Keys? We haven't heard anything about Christian Keys in a minute. Put out all those allegations and then bang, nothing. We haven't heard nothing yet, right? Is there any new updates on Christian Keys? Holla at your boy if you know of anything. But I have yet to hear anything new about Christian Keys. Let's keep it a buck, all right? But he was putting out some allegations. People were looking at some certain people that also wear dresses in a lot of their movies. And we haven't heard anything since. Interesting. Okay? But let me continue on. Okay.
And stole everything Mark Curry had. Now he in 28
Supposed to play Santa Claus.
an outright lie.
So
That he knows is a lie.
why would he say it?
Because he's a liar. Nobody knows why liars lie. And that's why I had to come on the program. Cedric did the same thing. Cedric told you when you asked him, did you steal Katt Williams' joke?
Yeah.
He said, it don't line up. How it don't line up that I did it on TV in 2018? You came to see me at the Comedy Store do it in 2019 and then did it on the Kings of Comedy. Like,
Okay.
what doesn't line up? This is a televised joke that Mark Curry helped me punch up and get to the level that it was. The same Steve that went to go watch Mark Curry do his whole sitcom and then stole everything Mark Curry had. Now Steve got a sitcom where he the principal and he wear a suit and then he gets this high top fade, making all black men think he got the best lineup in the business. And it's a man unit.
I love how he says, it's a man unit. Okay. Woo. Okay. There's a lot to dissect here. And he says more later, of course. But one, he ain't wrong. Hold on. I got to pull up some Steve Harvey old photo, okay, where he has the hair. Hold on. I got to pull this up so we can, zoom in on this mug. All right. But this doggone thing, I swear to God, looks like a microphone filter. Okay. And he got us all fooled. I'm going to keep it a buck. He got us all fooled. Hold on. There it is. Look at that hairline. Impeccable. But looks like my microphone filter. I'm just saying it does. And it had us all fooled. And I'm wondering who else, did he show up to work with the hairpiece on already? Or was he showing up there with a hat on, low hat, whenever he's going on set, when he was wearing hair, right? When he had this wig, was he showing up with the thing on? Or was his makeup team knowing the truth about him wearing a hairpiece? And he would walk in bald as hell, bald as me, and then get this thing just like he's Darth Vader or some ish. I'm just curious. I'm just asking, okay? I'm just asking because I'm impressed. Because that real talk, that hairline is impeccable. Okay? And don't get me wrong, there are some fellas out here with that kind of hairline. Lucky y'all. But still, damn. He had everybody fooled. Shoot, what was his show? What was the name of that show that he did right after Mark Curry's show? I'm forgetting it. Somebody knows it in the chat. Fire off in the chat, okay? Looking like a chia pet. I'm done. I'm done. But I'm just saying, real talk, that looks spongy. You know what I'm saying? It's the Steve Harvey show? Yeah, it was the Steve Harvey show. Really? It was the Steve Harvey show? Damn, that's really unique. But yeah, because it was hanging with Mr. Cooper. And then, yeah, he was the principal, right? Now, don't worry, we're done with the hairpiece. Well, we're not done with the hairpiece. We got more with that. Trust me. We got more conversation about the hairpiece in just a minute, because I got some receipts here in a second. But Steve Harvey show, he was the teacher, and Cedric the Entertainer was the gym teacher. Okay, thank you, Black Anonymous. I appreciate it. Thank you. Christmas. It's juices and berries. Nobody remembers Coming to America. Okay, to be loved, right? So interesting. Yeah, juices and berries, indeed. But like I said, that looked like that was made out of styrofoam. Swear to God. When you look at it now, But back in the day when we were kids, you know, it's like, damn, he got the high. He looked fly in it, though. He looked good. He rocked the hell out of that high top. He rocked the hell out of that high top. But allegedly, Katt Williams said some things. He claims he said some things that caused him to stop doing stand-up, and stop wearing the wig. Okay? He got that Duracell people hair. What the hell, Mike? That's messed up. That's messed up. Okay? I like Steve Harvey. I actually like Steve Harvey, man. Okay, let's look at this, okay? Let's take a look.
Then you ask it, why you not a movie star? I didn't want to be a movie star. This the same Negro that hated on Bernie with this same thing. I didn't want to be a movie star. No, you couldn't be a movie star. There are 30,000 new scripts in Hollywood every year. Not one of them asks for a country bumpkin black dude that can't talk good, baby, and look like Mr. Potato Head. There ain't none. You would have to have range. I played a lot of characters, 60 movie roles. I'm not playing Katt Williams in there.
Damn.
I don't know, Katt. We might not let you drink anymore the way you. I mean, we ain't even got.
I'm not fueled by alcohol. I've had a sip, less than you.
By the way, he's been drinking the entire time. Is he telling the truth there? Man. Okay. Is he telling the truth there? Man. But hey, I'm sure that cognac is delicious. All right. Again, Shannon, I don't even know. Right. He's just like, whoa. We ain't even started yet. He hasn't even started asking questions yet. You know, he's got a whole like thick stack of postcards that he's supposed to ask things. Okay. Like he's supposed to read those postcards, those cue cards, right? And he hasn't even touched it yet. It's just in his hand. Because this is right in the beginning of the show. Right when they sit down, he's already going in, y'all. He is going in. He doesn't give a damn. Don't forget to hit that like button down below. Send it past 400 likes, 400 likes, please. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button, okay? Subscribe. We talk about everything on this channel, everything from true crime all the way to pop culture. We in the pop culture realm today because it's Friday, and I don't know about y'all, but I needed a little bit of a break, all right, from all the gloom and doom and all the tragedy that we've been covering this past week. I needed a little bit of a something else, all right? But this is crazy. Let's continue.
The truth don't need motivation. I'm just saying I can't let these dudes lie. Cedric's sitting here telling you why he ain't a movie star. He over here look like a walrus. You didn't say nothing. He can't even get his arms off his stomach sitting over here. Why I'm not a movie star. What?
It's a situation.
He never wrote anything. Remember, when Cedric the Entertainer starts, he's supposed to be singing, dancing, and telling jokes. That's why he's called the Entertainer.
That is kind of true. I will say that. No disrespect. Shout out to St. Louis, okay? STL all day. He ain't wrong with that, though. Cedric the Entertainer, supposed to be singing, dancing, and telling jokes. That was his whole gimmick back in the day. But things change, baby. Things do change. Let's continue. We're going to get into the Cedric Entertainer part right now.
Right.
We found out he can't sing, can't dance, and doesn't write jokes.
He sings good. I've never seen him. I've never seen him do a two-step. I mean, I've seen him do a two-step, but I've never seen him like do fuetes and pirouettes or anything. Like, I ain't never seen that from Cedric the Entertainer. But I've seen him throw out some jokes, and I've heard him sing. And he's a good singer. Personally, I think he's just fine. Okay, but let's continue.
He had 4 comedy specials. They're so bad, Shannon, they're not available on Netflix or Tubi. Can I say that again for the audience? They're so bad that they're not available on Netflix or Tubi.
That's a hard thing to say, bruh. Like, it's not on Netflix and it's not even on Tubi. Now, I have not done my research on that part. I don't know how much of that is true. Okay, we got a little bit that we got to look into here because there's quite a bit here. All right. So that is at 8:47. let me
Cedric told you when you asked.
Let me pull this part up so you guys can see this, because he had some things, because Cedric the Entertainer did respond and he had some things to say. We're going to be reading that here in just a minute, but let's hear what Katt Williams says. I think that continues from that point on what I just played. Okay, let's go.
Cedric told you when you asked him, did you steal Katt Williams' joke? Yeah. He said it don't line up. How it don't line up? He thought that I was just a no-name comedian and that he could take this joke and nobody would know. Right. The issue was that I had already done this particular joke on BET's Comic View twice. Right. It had done so well on BET's Comic View that they had made it part of the commercial. So part of the commercial of make sure you tune in to BET was you seeing me doing this joke. So this is not just a random joke. This is my very best joke, and it's my last joke, and it's my closing joke.
Let me just say this really quick. This is dangerous, because Katt is saying, yo, this was my best joke. This was my hottest joke. I worked on this for a long time, and I made it funny as hell. And they even used this for promos for the show that I was on and all that stuff. Have mercy. That is some strong things to say. Okay, let's continue. Okay.
1998, I'm doing this joke. It's on Comic View. Cedric comes to the Comedy Store. He watches me in the audience. He comes backstage. He tells me what a great job I did and how much he loves the joke. 2 years later, he's doing that as his last joke on the Kings of Comedy. Cedric told you when you asked.
Now, that is some serious, those are some serious allegations. Now, there are a lot of clips out here. People have been sharing a lot of clips of Katt Williams stand-up where he's talking about like black people driving their cars. It's a whole bit, okay? And then right after that, they show Cedric the Entertainer doing almost the same joke. It's almost alike. The only thing that he changes is that instead of it being a car, he turns it into a spaceship. You see what I'm saying? Because he was like, hey, you know, for a fact that if, you know, people move to the moon or like move to outer space, go to another planet, you know, for a fact, black people going to be pulling up. And then he goes into this whole thing like, you know, they're going to be driving their hoopties but they're going to be spaceship versions of hoopties and all that. And it was a really funny bit. But the thing is Katt Williams said almost the same joke years before. This is what he's claiming, but it was about a car. It was about cars. Okay. Cedric the Entertainer took it allegedly and just kicked it up a notch. Right now, he says here on the bottom here, which I'm going to share and blow this up for you guys too. And he has a response, which we're going to play here too. He says, revisionist history, regardless of whatever Katt's opinion, my career can't be reduced to one joke Katt Williams claims as his. I've been in over 40 movies. My specials and brand speaks volumes for I am. The people have put on, including the people I have put on, including Katt in the Hat at the Gibson Amphitheater. And he said, and all that tough talk is corny as F. I'm a grown ass man. And none of that is gonna go like you think. You do you, and I got this over here. That's what Cedric the Entertainer said in here. Okay. Now, let's be real. It's a tough one. You know what I'm saying? Because you never know. People can have all kinds of different ideas for something that is, you know, for something that they claim to be their own, right? And so is this full on, bold-face, full-fledged plagiarism? I don't know. Because you got to remember, same thing about the Mark Curry and Steve Harvey situation, which we will be looking at here in a second as well. I mean, because he does talk more about Mark Curry, and Mark Curry is brilliant. Okay, hilarious. Oh, all right. And it's interesting that he doesn't get the flowers that he rightfully deserves as well as a comedian, stand-up comedian, as a creator and all that. Dude is hilarious. All right. Very, very talented. He just didn't get, I feel, the full opportunity, if that makes any sense, because too many other people came in and took his ish and claimed it as their own. Now, I will say this is very real. This is not fake news or anything like that. People are out here and they will steal things left and right because they want their chance to get a piece of that pie. It's really messed up, but it's true. And especially in Hollywood, there's some really bad blood-sucking individuals that will take your idea and run with it and act as if it's their own. So let's not forget the land of delusion, too. I'm not sitting here saying that Cedric the Entertainer did or did not steal that joke. All I'm saying is there are people out here that will take things as their own and believe in their own minds that it really was theirs from the beginning. That's how crazy people are. All right. So there's a good possibility that this joke was stolen. But I will say this. It's one joke. Listen, Amy Schumer has been called out for this. What's his name? Scholes. He's got his show Flagrant 2, and he's got a Brilliant Idiots with Charlemagne the God. I forgot his first name, but anyway, he's been called out for stealing jokes. There have been plenty of people that have been called out for stealing jokes, but has that changed their career? Amy Schumer destroyed her career by her own self, aside from stealing jokes. Okay, Andrew Scholes. Thank you, Andrew Scholes, who's actually kind of funny, right? He's been claimed and accused of stealing jokes too. Now, does that automatically mean that they're all horrible people? There's a possibility that they got inspired by a joke and they kicked it up a notch, made it funnier. I don't know, right? But it is a strong claim to say that your joke was stolen by a huge name, right? But Katt Williams, I will say this too, is also a huge name. And remember, doesn't matter if you have that joke stolen. You still have a laundry list of opportunities. You still have a laundry list of jokes aside from that one joke, right? You can't just lean on that one joke and say that is the only one. You know, that was my best joke. Damn it. Damn, that was my best joke, man. No, if you're going to continue writing, I'm sure you're going to have other opportunities, right? To write other classic jokes, right? But it's okay, I understand, to put it out there and let the world decide on their own. Put out the evidence, put out the receipts, and let them make the decision for themselves, right? And this is exactly what's going on right now. Now, Cedric the Entertainer had some things to say, which I'm going to share with you guys right now. This is after all this stuff that went down with Katt Williams. Like I said, we're going to go piece by piece here, y'all. All right? So let's take a listen to this. And again, it is one joke, right? It is one joke. So far, unless he's got more stuff, it is only one joke. But at the same time, I mean, it is sad, right? It is really messed up. But Cedric the Entertainer has been able to continue on. He's been able to continue on and make more jokes and continue being funny. But we'll see. We'll see. I mean, because that realm, that platform is so small, and it's not like everybody and their mom is a stand-up comedian. It is really tough for some of the people who are the big names to get really called out and thrown back out into the masses. It is really tough. You know, once they have a fan base, once they have the respect and love for their comedy and what they've contributed to the art, it is kind of hard to kind of throw them back into the masses. I feel, it's tough. But, I think this is the other reason why, like, Dave Chappelle is uncancelable. cancelable. It's because there's only one Dave Chappelle. They've tried to cancel Kevin Hart. Well, that's another conversation in itself. But has he been canceled? Maybe, ish, right? But you look at, like even Tiffany Haddish, right? How many times has she been in trouble for some things? And she's still doing stand-up. She's still a name, and she's still making that money out here doing her monologues in front of thousands of people. Let's take a listen to what Cedric the Entertainer had to say.
What up, y'all? What's up? It's I'm gonna address this Katt Williams thing one time, man. I saw people on there really commenting about that. Look, I have no idea what this brother is talking about. That joke is over 30 years old, close to 30-something years old. I did the Kings of Comedy in 1999. Probably have been doing that joke 6-7 years before that. I don't even know if Katt was doing comedy then. So, again, he's a talented brother. I have no idea what he's talking about. I've never seen Katt do a space shuttle joke. So,
see what he said there? One, he said, hey, Katt, talented dude, very talented, but I ain't never seen him do a joke about a spaceship. Remember what I said? We're going to talk about that in just a minute. I'm going to circle back to that one more time.
There may be something that he believes is true. I've written a lot of jokes. I've had a lot of comedians steal my jokes as well. So I understand if you feel, slighted by that, but that's my joke. That's my joke, dog. Driving spaceships to the moon, cigarette, cutie pie rocking in the background, parallel parking the spaceship. It's my joke.
Okay. Let me just say something really quick. Notice that he said, talented brother, I don't know what he's talking about. I never stole a joke about a spaceship. Now, let me tell you something really quick. In the music realm, and it's happened before, like Robin Thicke, even Ed Sheeran. There's been plenty of artists that have been through lawsuits where they've other artists, okay, or other representations of that artist will sit there and say, no, you took Marvin Gaye's song and turned it into this particular song. You just took the same chord progression and you're using it as your own and making millions off that song. He should get royalties. The family should be getting royalties over that. Same thing with both of them, for example, right? Now, one thing that's really interesting about the world of plagiarism or at least in music, you can change one note, one full note for the most part. Change the lyrics, of course, and it could be a completely different song. Yes, it may sound like Let's Get It On, right? But doesn't mean that it's Let's Get It On. See, the chord progression is different. Yes, it might be, G, B flat, A, F, but I don't have F. I don't have a good F chord in there, right? It'll be, it's a C. You see what I'm saying? For lack of a better term. So it's really easy for people to sit there and go, oh, okay. It does sound a lot like Let's Get It On, but it's not Let's Get It On. Does that make sense? And also, let's not forget the lyrics on top of it are a completely different song. It's a completely different set of lyrics. Same thing with this particular joke. Now, the premise, the idea could have been inspired by Katt, but Katt's joke is not about a spaceship. Katt's joke is about a car. I know. Semantics, but if you really think about it, what he's saying here, I can see why he's leaning on that and going, oh, you're making it sound like I stole a joke about a spaceship. I didn't steal any joke about no spaceship. See what I'm saying here? So it's interesting. He could have stole that joke straight up. But now, 30 years later, in his mind, man, I didn't steal nothing. I wrote a joke about a spaceship. It may be very alike, but they're not the same. So very interesting. Okay? Very interesting when it comes to that piece. I'm going back to the interview.
And I needed you to know of my auditions is because of Steven said he would tell anybody that, listen, they got a gang on that side. They know what it is. They know who the gang is. Why Earthquake not in movies? Because he's illiterate. He can't read. And they found that out when they gave him a show and put the cards in front of him. Like, all of these dudes are co-entwined and they share secrets. And this is the age of truth. And the truth doesn't need to be scared of the fact that people tell lies. Cats on drugs. Where are the stories? Why is there no story of anybody who ever sold a drug to me, did a drug with me, was around me when I was inebriated? I got 5 daughters. I got 5 sons. Why would we tell these ridiculous stories? Because it's competition. You feel like, well, why comedy guys can't just get along?
Yes.
Why didn't you get along with the other teams you were competing against? Anybody that ever told you differently was a fat Faison liar. There's nobody like me in the business.
Faison just caught a stray.
Faison said that getting a Netflix special is easy. I have 12 specials. Guess how many Faison got? 0. So why is he allowed to have conversations about real stand-up people?
I've interviewed Faison Love, by the way. Go check it out. It is on this channel, so go check it out. He came onto the show years ago. Interesting experience, I will say that. But he, we talked about Friday. We talked about all this other stuff. But yeah, don't know why Faison is in the conversation right now. But even Shannon's like, man, even Faison Love is catching a stray. Damn. He's going after everybody, y'all. Everybody.
We do not let people who are on the juice discuss real athletes. That's all. As a journalist, that's all. That's all I'm saying. Okay. I don't harbor any resentment to any of these entities because I can't be jealous. I've never seen them have anything that I ever wanted. If you sign up for their program, you get a light-skinned, weird-faced wife that never do an interview. Listen, in 20 years, won't do an interview. Nobody's ever talked to her, and she's never been interviewed anywhere.
It's funny because there's a photo online right now where they're showing most of the comedians that he's talking about here, all of their wives. It's just a very interesting claim. Like I just feel like part of this is, okay, he's telling his truth. This is his version of the truth, okay? This is his perspective. This is how he feels about things. But also he did his research. You could tell he took time. He's had time to sit down and do his research. Again, does this mean that this is a bitter man, that he's bitter about all this? Or does he feel like he's been messed with, right? That he didn't get his fair shot, his fair opportunity to play in this game? I leave that question up to you guys. Let's continue on. I'm going to skip up a little bit.
If you Diddy or whoever you is, TG Jakes, any of them, all lies will be exposed. That's all.
He said TD Jakes. Uh-oh. What-whoa. Rut-row. Okay, rut-row. Let's continue. He says things about Diddy in this thing. Man. Okay. $50 million. He was offered $50 million to do what with Diddy? I mean, it's pretty crazy, guys. He says a lot here. Let's continue.
And anyone who takes that the wrong way, know why they take it the wrong way. The truth is the light. Nothing but collect information, knowledge, and so many things I shouldn't know, and they all know it. They all know it. Why? Because you don't make me the villain. Not the guy that raises black children and ain't never done a hard drug in his life and don't have no stories of doing nobody dirty. And they'll just go out and they'll lie. The industry doesn't mess with Katt because he didn't show up for the studio. No studios have ever said that. Look at my IMDb. It will show you that no studio has ever lost money with me on the script. How? That's why I'm saying, that's why I can't let Ricky Smiley say he was supposed to play Money Mike, because I wrote the words for Money Mike. I designed the hair for Money Mike. I collaborated with the wardrobe department and made outfits to make sure that no one in America would be wearing what Money Mike was wearing. I told them to go get the Prowler. I then told them to paint it purple. I told them don't have an actor at playing a pimp. We could get an actual pimp, Archbishop Magic Don Juan, to play. Like, I did far too much work.
Wow. Let me just say something real quick, and I'm going to share with you guys some receipts. When he was talking about the whole, y'all think I'm on, on these party drugs, y'all think I'm on chemicals, y'all think I'm heavily influenced and all of that, right? He's referring to Kevin Hart. And Kevin Hart had some things to say in a interview on The Breakfast Club. And the thing is Kevin Hart was in his feelings, clearly was in his feelings, and was not happy about the questions that were actually being brought up. This is the jankiest, worst quality video, but I just want you guys to hear this. This is the reason why he says, hey, I'm not on any type of drugs. I'm not, doing whatever they're saying that I'm doing, blah, blah, blah. This is the reason why he is responding to this. Because 5 years ago, yes, a whole 5 years ago, Kevin Hart went on to Breakfast Club. They were asking about why there's such animosity towards Katt Williams. And he unleashed the beasts in his opinions. Let's take a listen to that really quick.
Bad. My frustration with Katt Williams comes from you keep pointing at Hollywood. Hollywood this, the white man, this, and this. When do you take responsibility for your actions? You had the shot.
Katt was in that position at one point.
You were the guy.
Yeah.
You were set up to be the star. You didn't show up to work.
You were the chosen one. Let's continue.
You fucked off promo shoots. You fucked off your promo fucking trips that they had set up for you. You became a risk to the studios, which is why the studios stopped fucking with you.
Why was he a risk?
He chose drugs.
Oh.
Huh. So Kevin Hart is sitting here saying, no, he chose another path. And it's the chemical path. It's to be super influenced out here. Okay? In the bad way. He chose to F off on these promo shoots. He chose to not be a part of the system or actually do the job that he's supposed to be doing as an entertainer, especially when it comes to promoting a movie, promoting anything that you got going on. This is what Kevin Hart is claiming, okay? He didn't show up. He didn't do all those things. Is he wrong? Or is he not? Let's continue.
Oh, okay.
Take responsibility.
Why was he a risk?
He chose drugs.
Oh, okay.
Take responsibility for what you chose and say, you know what? I got to fix me and I'm going to come back and I'm going to stand up for comedy. Mm-hmm. So when you say Tiffany Haddish doesn't deserve or isn't really a comedian and these other women have worked hard, which they have. Mm-hmm. Shouts out to Melanie Camacho. Shouts out to Lunel. Mm-hmm. Shouts out to Leslie Jones, who are all underneath the umbrella of Katt Williams.
By the way, Leslie Jones is hilarious. I'm just going to say that outright. Okay? And that woman deserves a lot more love than she actually gets. And if you don't know who Leslie Jones is, all you need to go do is just go see her on The Daily Show. She's been guest hosting on there for a little while. I don't know if she's still doing it now, but she is the best part of that damn show. I'm just going to keep it real. They should just sign over the paperwork and give her that damn show. She is hilarious. Moving on.
Katt Williams, have you ever used your platform to fucking bring the people that were under you up? You haven't. So because you haven't, don't shit on those that now are. Yeah. I've used my platform and I brought my guys and girls up. Mm-hmm. The brand of Kevin Hart is a brand that's expanded so fucking far, whether you like me or not. My presence in comedy will forever be felt because I'm a fucking boss. Bad.
Okay. All right. Kevin obviously was definitely in his feels. Let's keep it a buck. Okay. He is definitely in his physials when it comes to Katt Williams. And to me, it sounds like this is just an ongoing BS problem. There's just this drama, and every time it almost seems like they look at him like he's like this dark cloud that comes into to events, and he's like, everyone's like, oh snap, here comes Kevin, here comes Katt Williams, here he comes, acting fool, talking crazy, doing what he's doing, judging everything that we do, kind of thing. You know, he's not willing to be a team player. That's what I'm seeing here from what the other perspectives are saying out here, right? Because he is making some serious, heavy claims. This also makes me think of Monique. Monique has been out here saying all kinds of stuff. Whether you agree with her thoughts or not, she has been out here saying stuff for a minute. She put herself on the blacklist. She said, no. You don't need to write it for me. I will write it for you, so I could spell it right with the apostrophe. Okay. Somebody made a meme saying like Katt Williams and Monique need to have their own TV show, their own talk show, and they most definitely should. Man, would the ratings would be out of this world. Okay, but you got to remember, Monique feels some type of way about the industry as well. Felt like she wasn't getting what she deserved, and all that. She instantly was blackballed, blacklisted, all that, right? Then when she started to play the game a little bit, become a team player, notice that she finally gets a comedy special. She's finally doing work again because she finally said, hey, I need a chance out here, so I will play the game. And this is the same thing that's happened to Katt Williams. Yes, he claims that he's going on these multiple tours, back-to-back 100-city tours over and over and over again. And I keep wondering, as well as Kevin Hart, is there full proof of that, right? I think Katt Williams is hilarious. I think he's hilarious. I love his stand-up. But is he really doing what he's claiming he's doing? And is it going to be easy for him to find work out here if he's talking wireless all the time? No one's going to want to trust him. No one, people, you know, when he said in the interview later on, he says something along the lines of like, when I walk in the room, heads go down. Like he's saying it's out of respect. I honestly think people put their heads down because they're scared of doing something in front of him that's going to end up being in his stand-up, or he's going to say on a microphone, on camera, somewhere out here too, right? Some hard claims to put out here, and he continues to do that. He continues to say more and more stuff, whether we want him to or not. But I'm telling you right now, I am here for this whole thing. I am here for this. I am here for this, man. Okay? Because there are truths. There are some truths I feel that are being said in the interview. I'm not sitting here saying everything he's saying is the truth. I'm just saying there are some truths in this interview for sure. Okay? A broken clock can be right 2 times a day, guys. Remember that. All right? I'm not sitting here saying he's a totally broken clock. I'm just saying. A broken clock can be right 2 times a day. Let's continue.
No studios have ever said that. Look at my IMDb. If somebody to come years later and try to tag along just for their own self-aggrandizement.
Why didn't Cube set the record straight? Terry Crews could have set the record straight. Mike Epps could have set the record straight. Why none of them set the record straight?
That's what you were supposed to ask him when he told you those lies that
but I didn't
no one's
know it
ever
was a
heard.
lie.
Right, but he's telling you something no one's ever heard of. Nobody has ever heard, oh, Ben Affleck and Matt Damon was in a movie, and somebody said, y'all should switch roles. Like, this is a business.
But that's the thing, Kat. Normally when people will give you information, I'm thinking I'm hearing it for the first time, and they're giving information no one else knows or have ever heard. So I'm taking them at face value.
Let me say this really quick. As an interviewer, as a conversationalist, as a fellow, content creator like that, I completely and 110% agree with Shannon Sharpe with this for sure. It is unfair for any other person that's watching from the nosebleed seats to start putting judgment on the interviewer. They're taking whatever the person is saying at face value. Not like they're sitting there, like, I've had plenty of interviews where people have said crazy stuff, said wild stuff, made wild allegations. And it's like, whoa, that's crazy. I have no proof, nothing solid or materialistic that I can throw back in their face. If there's something material, like if there's an article or if there's video of something else, audio, whatever it is, of something that would contradict what they're saying in that interview, then hell yeah, you show up with the receipts. But if they're sitting there and telling you their version of everything, you take it as face value. That's where it's not fair for some of the interviewers and conversationalists. It's unfair that some of them get caught in the crossfire, because it's like, wait, I invited them on my show. We had a conversation. What they said, I didn't control what they said, and I don't have anything to sit there and push back on. So if they say that this happened, then I take it at face value. I take it as truth. How it gets digested and regurgitated back out in the social media streets, go attack them, not me. I'm just having a conversation, right? And it's interesting because I saw another interview that a conversation that he had, two different conversations that he had on Shannon Sharpe did on two different other platforms that he has, right? And he's like, yo, like, I don't understand why everybody's so mad at me. They're all sitting there going like, oh, you should have had pushback. You should have done this. You should have had, there was plenty more meat on that bone when it came to the allegations that Katt Williams was having and all that. And he's like, yo, I can't control what he says. And nor did I have like a book of pushback questions for him on this stuff. Again, this started right at the very beginning. Okay. Right at the very beginning of the interview, they sat down and Katt Williams just went off. And he's like, yo, I had a whole book stack of questions for him. I hadn't even read any of those things in the first 35, 40 minutes of this whole conversation. Damn. He just came in on this stuff. And he tries to regain it later on, regain the conversation, regain the interview, control of the interview. But Katt Williams was on his own, in his own world. And I can relate to that. You see what I'm saying? I can totally relate to that. Because there's interviews that I've had, okay? Because it's like a boxing match. You just don't know who your opponent is. And I don't mean that in some competitive type of way when you're sitting down with somebody, but it's kind of like that. You sit down with them and you get a feel of who they are. Because a lot of times you're meeting that person for the very first time on camera and you still got to feel them out. So a lot of times you're going, okay, how is this person going to move, right? How does he dance? What's his body language? Is he feeling me? Does he hate me right now? Should I keep this conversation short and sweet, or can we have a real conversation? You're doing all of that and then some when you're sitting down with these celebrities. Same thing that happened to me with DMC. Shout out to DMC. But he was bang, 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 bang. You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting there having this exclusive interview with him. And I think I threw in like 4 questions throughout that entire interview. 4, maybe 4, maybe 5. At the end, he finally like started to let up. But the whole conversation was him like bow, 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 bow. And I'm like, okay, shoot, you can see the interview. I got my notebook. I got a laundry list of questions I want to ask him. And he was on one. Okay. He was already on one. So I was like, all right, I'm going to let him steer this boat for a while. Because he was just, he was on one. And I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just every interviewee, or every single conversation that you have is always going to be different from the next. Some are going to be very calm and easy, and others are going to be crazy wild. This one was something even a professional like Shannon Sharpe, you know, he's been on TV, you know, for a fact, he's done these interviews, interview type style conversations all the live long day. Even he couldn't keep control of this conversation. That's Katt Williams for you. And in a way, he may have needed to know that that was the vibe, right? That was going to happen here, right? But again, let's continue. But it's tough. It's not easy. And you got to make sure, because especially if you're working for, like, this is online. So he can talk about and ask him any questions he wants, right? But you got to remember, these higher ups, these networks that a lot of these journalists work for, they have to get these questions in, or they get in trouble for those things, right? It has to be more concise and more constructive. With this, it's a conversation. So it's like, all right, he wants to go down that route. We gonna go down that route, right? So, and yes, Raven, some interviews are like pulling teeth for sure. They're just so clinical and boring, and you know, you feel like you hear those kind of. I hate the sizzle reel fluff pieces. I hate those kind of conversations. You see what I'm saying? Where they're sitting there going, "Oh my God, tell us about your next buck," and it's a 5-minute interview, right? And the guy's just sitting there going, "Yeah, I got a book. It's called Pulling My Teeth Was Easy. It comes out on Friday. The experience was amazing. Tell us the experience of using pliers on your teeth." It's just so stupid. It's very cookie cutter, very bland and boring, right? You don't get these kind of interviews on CBS or ABC. It's very rare, unless you are Kelly. Moving on.
This is like Steve Harvey telling people he used to be homeless. That's my story. That's not his story. Steve Harvey wasn't never homeless. When Mark Curry was touring with him 25 years ago, he was making $3,000 a show in cash and doing 5 shows a week. They just tell the stories. Thanks to my wife, I'm where I am. You said that about the first wife. You forget that? You told us it was her. Then you went and married somebody else that think like a man.
Katt Williams, man. Katt Williams. Let me just say this really quick. I do have a little bit of a question with the Steve Harvey story, because I am curious about that. Is he just saying that so he has an interesting background, so that people have more sympathy for him, so that they see that he was on the, working his butt off on the come up? You know, we've heard the same story about like Tyler Perry. He was living out of his car for a minute before his first play finally popped off and everything. We've heard those stories a million times. Oh, I drove into LA with just $7 and in a Pinto, in a jalopy, and then I rose to my fame. Right? There's plenty of those stories out here, but I do have one pushback. How did he keep that wig on so well if he was living in a car? I'm just saying that, like, I'm just saying, look at that hair again. You telling me a homeless man was rocking that? You telling me a homeless man was rocking this? I'm just saying, like, how you gonna, you know what I mean? Better pick that Afro daddy, because it's flat on one side. Are you telling me he's gonna keep that really nice and tight? Living in a car? Or was he just wearing hats all the time? I'm just curious, when he went out to audition or try to get these gigs at in stand-up places and stuff. I'm just asking for a friend. Pick that Afro daddy. Cause it's flat on one side. I'm just saying, how do you live in a car with that high top? That don't look cheap. You see what I'm saying? That don't look cheap. And then keeping it on and making it look like it's real forever, for as long as he did. Damn. That's all I'm saying. I got questiones. Okay? Just asking questions. Let's continue. You like that Erykah Badu? You know what I'm saying? Little throwback for you. If you don't know what I'm talking about, the pick that Afro daddy, go check it out. It's classic. Let's continue.
Like, what are you talking about? They think they can rewrite history. Guy Torrey did a beautiful special about the Comedy Store and Fat Tuesday, where he said that Steve and Cedric and Kevin Hart and Tiffany Haddish came through there and made... All lies. Steve and Cedric never performed at the Comedy Store at all. Tiffany was only seen at the Laugh Factory. In 15 years in Hollywood, no one in Hollywood has a memory of going to a sold-out Kevin Hart show, there being a line for him ever getting a standing ovation at any comedy club. He already had his deals when he got here. Have we heard of a comedian that came to L.A. and in his first year in L.A., he had his own sitcom on network television and had his own movie called Soul Plane that he was leading? No, we've never heard of that before that person or since that person. What do you think a plant is? Maybe people don't understand the definitions of these words.
It's a very hardcore claim to sit here and say that a particular individual is an industry plant. I know a lot of people think that Tiffany Haddish is an industry plant and all that, right? But there are ways for him to have a sitcom before, or a sitcom offer before he even went to LA. There is a possibility of that. It's not like this is some far-fetched thing. I will say that. Okay. And real quick, I don't know what press conference is live right now. I don't know what's going on, but let me know what this, let me know what it is about this press conference, and I'll make sure that we cover it afterwards. But I don't know what that's about, what the press conference is about. So yeah, we'll be watching it again if it's something that's on something that I'm covering currently. Okay. But moving on, very interesting, right? It's a very hard claim to say, oh, you industry plant. That's a hard thing to say, man. And I know Kevin Hart responded to that, but he responded to it by promoting his new movie. Like while promoting his new movie. To me, it's like, I don't like that. I'm gonna be honest. I wasn't a fan of that. Okay. Oh, it's a presser about Savannah. Okay. Well, I'll be sure to play that after this live. I'm not gonna stop this live or interrupt this conversation. We talking about this right now. Once once I'm done with this live, I'll pop back on and we'll watch the press conference together as a family. But still, hopefully everything's okay. But still, when it comes to this, okay, I think this is very interesting, right? Industry plant is a very strong claim. Very strong claim. Now he came in from Philly, if I'm correct, somewhere on the East Coast, because I watched his most recent documentary, Headliners Only, with Chris Rock, and I think he came in from Philly. But there is a way that he could have had a sitcom offer before he even went out there. He probably was making his name out in Philly enough for them to go, this guy's funny and we can build something off of this guy. And then they flew him out to LA, did this thing, and he did his sitcom. Sitcom didn't get picked up though. But now LA knows who he is. The people out in Hollywood know his name, Kevin Hart. Oh, he's the funny little guy. He's really commercial. He's got commercial ability. He can make the white audience laugh and the black audience laugh. That's fantastic. He's a hybrid. It's amazing. He's a crossover comedian. Fantastic. Also, let's not forget, he was also running with Chris Rock at the time and all these other people. He was making connections while he was out there cutting his teeth in the comedy circuit in Philly. So I'm just saying, okay, there's a brand right there. There's an opportunity. So I'm just saying on that is a strong claim to have. I don't like that Kevin Hart said, oh yeah, while you guys are talking about this, go check out my new movie that's coming out this week. I'm not a fan of that. Okay. But at the same time, like, he used that opportunity to get his, to push his trailer out. I don't know. Meh. I give it 2 big thumbs down, but that's just my own personal opinion.
He just did his documentary with Chris Rock where he shows you that his whole upbringing in comedy was on the East Coast.
Yeah, it was.
So how simultaneously was he here in Los Angeles doing the same thing? Complete narratives for themselves.
Are you not afraid about being black?
Who they don't. But I'm not scared of being the competition any more than you were when you lined up across from a superior team. Yeah, on paper, they're a better team.
Right.
They have all the assets and resources and we don't.
You know what I was just thinking? What are the chances of Katt Williams doing his own version of Muhammad Ali? Think about this. They're known, like, you know, now you got Jake Paul out here talking mess. You know, they all talk a big mess, right? What are the chances of him actually doing that approach? Oh, we're here. You know, I'm out here saying I'm one of the best. Y'all saying stupid stuff, blah, 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 right? Only to find out that he's just trying to make things interesting, maybe. Making claims and sitting there going, I'm one of the best. You guys just don't even know. Most of y'all don't even know my comedy because of so on and so forth. But of course, it's just ruffling all these comedians' feathers. You got to remember, these are all like, a lot of them are legends in their own right. And he's making a lot of claims saying like, yo, sure, you can have those spots, but I deserve that same spot. I should be up there with all y'all, right? Interesting.
But let us get on the line, boy, and see if
Think
that
about
factors in. I guarantee you it won't.
Wow.
Think about it for a second. This is literally like he's Muhammad Ali. I'm one of the best. I'm the best. I'm the best around. And some of you guys will look at this and say, yeah, this is delusional as F. Or you might look at this and go, no, he's telling the truth, baby. This is truth. See what I'm saying? Think about it. It's like the Muhammad Ali approach, but different.
Because Shannon Sharpe got to be a different person than that other person.
Absolutely.
And he always was. That doesn't change when I change teams. That remains the same. That's how a legacy is built. So all of these shortcut takers, they canceled me for talking about Harvey Weinstein before the thing came out, but he offered to suck my penis in front of all my people at my agency.
What? H-Dubs offering the rock the mic.
What am I supposed to do? He did all of that. I'm thinking I'm the only black person on the script. I get there, there's 3 other black guys on there. Woo. Huh.
So you wonder what they did to get there.
I told him no. What y'all do? And this is why when I walk in a room, heads go down. Behind my back, I'm nothing. I'm just a regular old comedian that's bitter and jealous. But in my face, no. The king has walked in and they have to respect it only because I've not taken the shortcuts. I've not been funded. They pay you to not talk about things they don't want you to talk about. They tell you that themselves. I can't do that because Steve told you that he stopped doing stand-up because he has 7 TV shows. The only problem is when he stopped stand-up, he didn't have those 7 TV shows. He stopped stand-up because he got in a comedy battle called the Championship of Stand-Up Comedy with one Katt Williams in Detroit in front of 10,000 people and lost because Katt Williams said he was actually bald and that was a wig. And I went in, and that's why he couldn't do stand-up anymore.
Oh, really now? We got some receipts. He said he was up there saying some things about Steve Harvey and the wig that he was wearing, okay? The microphone filter, the chia pet that was on his head. Let's take a listen.
All this money y'all spent on them motherfucking tickets and talked about a lady in the audience for 15 goddamn minutes. That nigga should have talked about me the way I've been to talk about his bitch man. Nigga to fucking invite to a championship, my nigga. You did. Yeah. You see that nigga had
receipts. Lace front.
What the fuck is he thinking about? He trying to copy off me and bring that ugly ass, sparkly ass tie out with a regular black suit like he was going to a funeral. Yours, nigga, yours. Nigga, I give a fuck. I give less than a fuck. Whatever less than a fuck is. You the one came out here and told jokes about if a bitch lick you on the left nipple, you buy that bitch a car. If that ain't the trickiest shit I ever heard. Bitch, you can suck my dick with the Holy Spirit in your mouth. I ain't buying your
I'm done. But you heard it. Allegedly, this is from the champion, whatever the competition was. And he was out here saying this about that lace front, talking about all this. And he's saying this was the last time that Steve Harvey did stand up. And the last time he wore a hairpiece was because he was called out for wearing a hairpiece on stage in front of everybody. Those are receipts. Crazy.
And I needed you to know why. Why, when I walk in a room, heads go down of stand-up comedy with one Katt Williams in Detroit in front of 10,000 people and lost because Katt Williams said he was actually bald and that was a wig.
There you go. Receipts.
And I went in, and that's why
These guys
wanted to be movie stars. What? You called Ocean 11 to get that nigga's part.
He's talking about Bernie Mac. I'm sorry. Bernie Mac was in Ocean's 11 and I think Ocean's 12, if I'm correct. May he rest in peace. Bernie Mac, hilarious. All right. Apparently, he's claiming that Bernie Mac was the king of comedy, but they turned it into Kings of Comedy. But then also on top of that, aside from that, he's saying that Steve Harvey was calling the director of Ocean's 11, Steven Soderbergh, and his team, Steven Soderbergh's the director of Ocean's 11, trying to convince them to give him that part and not Bernie Mac. That is quite a serious claim. Let's continue.
What do you mean you didn't want to be a movie star? So on the behalf of Bernie, I would have to say what I have to say.
Have you ever been on tour with any of these guys?
Every guy I mentioned to you is not funny out there in real life. So no. Faison's never done his own tour in 30 years. Steve Harvey don't do stand-up no more. Cedric doesn't write. I'm sorry, he doesn't write. Ricky Smiley has been playing the same old black woman forever. Like, you can't get a young fan base with that. Like, you got to be doing karaoke around the country to make that work.
Right.
And he is.
Interesting. Like I said, we're going to look at some things, guys. We got some things to look at. We got some things to look at. I'm going to continue playing this. Hold on.
But I'm a stand-up comedian. This is my 19th 100-city tour. I'm not going to have a conversation with these lazy bums that'll take a shortcut at any point. Yes, it's easier for you to juice than to get in the gym. But you don't get to bring that body in here talking crazy.
Talk about how good you look.
What? No, there's too many comics out there that are putting their life on the line to tell these jokes, man.
Okay. Let's get to your upbringing. We're going to circle back and we'll get some...
I want to protect him real quick.
It had done so well on BET's Comic View that
already played 1990
comedy. And Katt didn't do know me for.
It's a simple yes or no. It's not a...
know me for is that I'm quite likely to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help me God.
Now, I'm reading Katt Williams won Cedric the Entertainer's Anheuser-Busch Best Los Angeles Comic Award. Did you win that award, won Katt Williams? It's a simple yes or no. It's not a rhetorical question.
It's a question that probably should have been asked to Cedric the Entertainer.
I'm asking you. I got you here, though.
I know. I couldn't believe Cedric didn't get asked that question. You steal a dude's joke and then give him an award, and then 10 years later you don't know nothing about it. Hey, but I promise you this.
What?
If he sees me again before he sees you, he'll be talking different when you see him. That's for certain. But eventually the Lord is going to let me and you be in one hallway. A lot of these dudes go. Kevin Hart done went 25 years without ever being in the same building with me at the same time. If I go in the building, he walk out. You've never seen us in the same building ever in 25 years. Like, it's like that.
Let me say this though too, because I know some people were like, he didn't say anything bad about DL Hughley. No, he did not. In fact, in the interview, he's like, no, DL he's nice. Like, he's nice with it. He's hilarious, right? He didn't say nothing bad about except that Earthquake can't read. Other than that, he was like, Earthquake is hilarious. He's like, I ain't never seen Earthquake have one bad show. He's like, in fact, that man is just bold-faced hilarious, right? There are other people that he didn't touch. There are other people that he gave mad props to, even to young comedians like Jess Hilarious, Desi Banks, Country Wayne. He gave a lot of props to them, right? DC Young Fly, he even said some things about DC Young Fly. Shoot, he even talked about Gary Owen. Yeah, you just said, as I'm saying it. What did he say about Gary Owen? He just said, he said something along the lines of, which I do have a video that I want to share with you, and it's Gary Owen talking. But he talks about how like Gary Owen, hasn't been able to cross over. And I think he was making claims on this being about gatekeepers, blocking certain people from being able to make more, to find more success, right? And and he's like, and he's white. I don't understand why he's not getting out there and getting the love and the respect and getting the specials and just blowing the F up out here. Because, he's making black audiences laugh, but he's making white audiences laugh. Why is he not getting the respect that he rightfully deserves? And then of course he said of course on top of that, and he's white. That doesn't make any freaking sense either, right? But we are going to talk about Gary Owens because, like I said, there's a lot of people that tuned in or have jumped on to my Twitter feed last night and this morning have been filled with people, comedians coming out and putting in their 2 cents about this whole thing. So let me just play a little bit more of this.
Why?
Yes.
Because I'm really the product. It's not what you think. I am never under the influence of anything. I'm always in my right mind. I'm always a physical specimen. And when you see me, I'm much, much bigger than you had thought.
Okay.
I have far less play in me than you would like. And I'm relentless. I'm out there. I'm still, to this day, I play 11 games of basketball with a... This is not for the change off of the...
We're having a great conversation, but you did win the award. How did...
Ricky sat here and told you that they cut him out of every movie he did.
Okay. And I'm going to cut that there. Okay. There's a lot to say here. Okay. There's a whole lot to say. And yeah, some people don't like Gary Owen. I feel like there's a lot of people that don't like DL. People don't like Cedric. Some people don't like Steve Harvey. Some people don't like even Bernie Mac and all that. Okay. And there's a lot, but like I said, like I said before, I have receipts. Okay. I have some things. All right. Hold on. But I have some things that we're going to be talking about here. Some receipts and whatnot, okay, which is really crazy, all right? Because there's a lot of things that are being said, obviously, that we just watched a whole bunch of. Everything from Cedric the Entertainer, which we've already seen. We haven't really heard Steve Harvey say anything as of yet, not that I know of so far. But then again, he might say something here soon. I don't know, but there's a lot of claims on a lot of different things. Let me just pull up this real quick. And again, this is not wrong. Let me just share this with you guys. This is not wrong. Okay. This is a video. I don't know if it has any sound. I don't think it does, but oh yes, it does. Let me just mute the sound. But as you can see, Kevin Hart. That is Kevin Hart. Jamie Foxx, Tyler Perry, Eddie Murphy, Chris Rock, Ricky Smiley, Chris Tucker. Oh, have mercy. Let's not forget Arsenio Hall, but let's not forget Tu Wong Fu with none other than Blade. Okay, let's continue. Joanna Man, oh my Lord, Ving Rhames, Wayans. This is crazy, y'all. But you can see all that. Yeah, Wesley Snipes, all those people. Everybody. Okay. Very interesting nonetheless. Okay. Yeah, Wesley. Yeah, Wesley really did do. He really did go all the way in that that movie. We're gonna keep it a buck. He went all the way in, all the way in. Okay, like that's crazy. All right, but again, it is a thing. It's really crazy to me that all these people, all these black male actors, to get past the threshold, next thing you know, they're out here dressed up in some sort of outfit. It's the freaking truth, y'all. It's crazy. Even Dave Chappelle has been seen in, wearing earrings and lipstick and, wearing fake boobs type thing, trying to act like a girl in a Howard Stern skit. Okay. That also has resurfaced out here as well. Okay. I mean, there's some things out here that people are coming out here and saying putting in their 2 cents and coming up with receipts, y'all. Crazy, crazy receipts. Okay. Now, I need to bring up Mark Curry. Okay. There's a conversation about Mark Curry and how like a lot of his stuff has been stolen. There's obviously a lot of animosity between Mark Curry and Steve Harvey. And Mark Curry puts in his 2 cents about this in an interview. And I want to share this with you guys because some of you guys don't know who Mark Curry is. And again, funny dude, very creative, and has helped write for a lot of other stand-up comedians and other shows as well. This is a funny guy, okay? And he had a show hanging with Mr. Cooper, and it was popular for a little while. And then it got canceled, right? They stopped making the show. And then nobody knows anything about him, and his work, except Katt Williams is bringing his name back up into the chat. He's bringing his name back into the group chat because, allegedly Steve Harvey was stealing things from Mark Curry, and even Mark Curry says that in this interview as well. Let's take a listen to this.
Yeah. Okay, so tell me about
never said thank you.
So what's up with you and Steve, man?
I ain't nothing. I mean, well, Steve stole my material on his show, so I had a beef on that.
On what show?
When he was on the bullshit talk show he had, and he did all my Halloween material one Halloween. I'm watching. Somebody called me and said, "Man, homeboy doing your material." So he did my whole Halloween run. And I know he didn't think of it. You know, this is true stuff that really happened to me. And so my thing is, you don't have to do that, homeboy.
Yeah.
So, you know, motherfucker, you made enough money, bitch ass. You know?
So he did his whole Halloween stand-up. He's saying that was all my ish. And you took my ish.
Wow. You made enough money, you did enough. You know, why are you on my material?
Right.
You know, what's that about? You know, and
Good
then,
question.
you know, people want to jump up. Oh, he didn't know, he didn't steal your. So yes, he did. I mean, you know, so, you know, and so that there's no need to no one else has did that.
So this was on his talk show. Which talk was his TV talk show?
His TV talk show.
Okay, this was the one he had on
Damn.
ABC just recently.
Whatever, yeah. The one that damn, who took his show from him?
Kelly Clarkson.
How can Kelly Clarkson take your show, homie?
Hey, bro.
Damn.
You know, so
You got your show took by Kelly Clarkson?
You know what's crazy?
Damn.
I met my fiance on Steve's show, on Steve
really?
Harvey's talk show.
Yeah.
So that's another story. But I want to.
Yeah, so he's like, wait. This man helped me meet my future wife. Hold on now. Hold on. You talking about the very show that got me hooked up with my fiance. Hold up now. All right. No. Don't you be talking crazy like that. I met my wife there. He probably was like a producer on it or, you know, something, right? But that's interesting. Very interesting. And he's sitting here saying, hey, he did my whole stand-up, my whole Halloween stand-up for his Halloween special on his own talk show. So I'm wondering if there's any receipts of Mark Curry doing the exact same stand-up a year or two before. Because that's some serious claims. Okay.
Get back to that because I think that is the most lewd thing a comic can do.
Yeah. To me,
Right.
I step to you.
Right?
I'm gonna step to you.
You ever step to him?
Yeah, step to him.
What'd you say to him?
Well, yeah, tell us about that.
Ask him.
Okay, I will, but
Was
we
that
got
the
you.
first time that had ever happened to you?
No.
No, okay.
Motherfucker,
What
I stepped
irritated
to
you
you.
so much about Steve doing it then?
Because he made it. He's
Okay.
there. He's on
There was
national
no
TV.
need.
You paid. You did your thing. You try to
Damn.
either you fucking with me or you disrespecting me or you know I don't understand that. You taking food out of my money, you know, you taking whatever. You know what I mean?
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I don't.
food out your
I don't
mouth.
that's
I get it.
plagiarism.
Right.
Wow.
So we got you here. Steve
Yeah.
ain't here. I'll
Yeah.
ask Steve later. What'd you say to him when you stepped in?
Ask him.
Okay.
Okay.
What
He's
was
saying,
it?
ask him.
You guys work things out? Was it
No, I saw him at the Def Jam 25.
Oh, Def Jam. Okay.
So when I see you, I see you.
Okay.
So in other words, he approached him and he said, hey, man, you know, you use my ish. What's up with that? Right? And I'm sure Steve Harvey's like, oh man, whatever it may be. Oh, I don't even know what you're talking about. Because that's normally the how people, if they're gonna steal something, that's how they usually react. I don't even know what you're talking about, bro. You know, I me and my team, we wrote these comedy, this whole stand-up from scratch, bro. I don't know what you're talking about. That's how it is. Oh, I don't know what he's talking about some joke about a spaceship. You see what I'm saying? You change some words and suddenly it is your own intellectual property. You see what I'm saying? It's dangerous out here. I don't know how many times I've had content, ideas, and stuff like that stolen from me as well. It's happened. It's most definitely happened. Had a whole series, another content creator, this is well over a decade ago. Content being made, I'm putting out this particular series. Another content creator in my area put this stuff out. Same thing. And I'm like, what are you doing? That's mine. I just made that. I just shared that. I shot it. I cut it. I put it all together. The whole series is named exactly the same thing. And you're telling me that we can have the same idea at the same time when you know for a fact we are out here in the same circles? Nah, man. Nah, you took my work and you're trying to claim it as your own. And just because you have a little bit more popularity online at that time, doesn't mean that you can just get away with this. And I'm not cool with that, right? Those things do happen. Oh, but it's kind of like, but it's different. Okay, so you took out a word. You changed the format and how you shot it or whatever. But it doesn't mean that that still isn't my work, my idea that you just took and ran with. It happens countless times, man. This has happened to me countless times. Man, I got stories. I got so many stories. Some of them, it's kind of like Katt Williams, man. I could get people in trouble for the things that have happened to me, you know, and it's much smaller, way smaller, minuscule. It's like 1%, less than 1%, than you know what Katt Williams is saying or these other big stars are saying. Okay, but at the same time, the stealing of content, the stealing of these ideas, the intellectual property and all that, that's a real thing. And people are real savage about it. People are real savage about it. And they don't care. Because then in their minds, in their they feel in their delusional minds that no. I didn't steal nothing. I didn't steal nothing. What I did was fine. Everything was safe. But it is real. People do this stuff all the time. All the time. Or you could be co-creating something with somebody, working things out, and then they run and they just say, oh, that was all me, kind of thing. Wait a second. All they have to do is erase your name. That's happened to me countless times. Okay? Countless. It's real. Okay? It's real. And King ain't wrong. Creating a joke is like creating a song. It's art. Yes. And sometimes it takes time. It takes time to craft that joke. Katt Williams even said later on in the interview, it's like sometimes it's bang, you got the joke right off the bat. And sometimes it takes months to craft that joke, to make it funnier, to make it hit better, to get the right beats and all that. That's why a lot of these other comedians, that's why a lot of these comedians go on the road, or they go to their local, open mic to work out those particular jokes, work them, massage them, stretch them out, so on and so forth. See what kind of angles that they can bring other aspects into the joke to make it funnier, right? That's why it takes so long for these specials to come out. Some people are just prolific. Some people are just really good at shooting from the hip, Dave Chappelle, where it doesn't take much. I mean, let's be real. Dave Chappelle, a lot of his stand-up now, I don't even think he's really working a lot of that material on the road. He's just going out and just talking. He's just talking, y'all. His stand-ups are completely different now. He's shooting from the hip. He's going rock and roll, right? But there's other artists out here. It's an art. It takes time to craft those jokes. And then when you got that person taking that joke and just spinning it, changing a little bit, instead of it being a he, it's a she. Instead of it being a dog, it's a kangaroo. You see what I'm saying? Instead of it being a car, it's a spaceship. Then you're going, wait a second, I've been crafting that joke for 6 months, for a year, let's just say. And now you just took it? Nah, man, that ain't cool. That's not right. That really is not right. Okay? But I wanted to pull this up because Bernie Mac, a video of Bernie Mac talking about jokes being stolen has popped back up. Let's take a listen.
Material around a lot of comedians. You don't do your material around a lot of comedians. That's like stealing in front of the police. You know? They mean well, but they sit on the side. Oh, that's funny. Next thing you know, you see it on HBO or something. You be sitting at home. That shit mine,
He's making these jokes, but he ain't lying. He's making those jokes, but he is not lying. You can see it in his face. This is not funny, but people are laughing at it like it's a joke. And it's like, no, this is really real. Bernie Mac, may he rest in peace, is even saying this ish. Crazy.
But ain't nobody gonna believe first come, first serve. So when you do new stuff, you never, I'm telling you, for you comics coming up, never bring your stuff out in front of a house full of comedians. You will never work a lot. Especially established comedians like myself, you'll never work a lot. Make sure you keep that. But I want that question to be asked on the couch. They be stealing your shit for real? Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting, don't you think? Good old Bernie Mac from the grave. Coming out and saying all this stuff. Yeah. They'll steal your ish. Don't give comedians nothing, because they'll just take it. And he gone. He ain't here no more. He's saying this all the way from the grave, y'all. All the way from the grave. R.I.P. But interesting, right? Very, very interesting. Now, I'll sit here and say, I'm not sitting here saying that what Katt Williams is saying is false. I think that there's a lot of truths in what he's saying. There's a lot. Is it all truth? I leave that question up to you guys. Okay. Actually, let me get this poll. Because I got a little bit more. Yep. Simple little poll. That's what she said. Simple poll. Get your ass to the poll and vote. All right. Let me know what your thoughts are. All right. Do you think that this man is for real? Or do you believe it? Or do you think he's full of ish? Like I said, I think that it's a hybrid. I think there's some things that are exaggerated because he's passionate. He's a passionate individual. But I think there's a lot that is true. I mean, there are receipts out here showing him do the Cadillac joke, and then they put it right next to Cedric the Entertainer doing the spaceship joke. And it's like, it's uncanny how alike it is. Like I said, the only difference is that the spaceship is in there instead of the Cadillac, instead of the car. That's pretty crazy, guys. Hold on, let me get some of these super chats here. Whoa. Okay. Clement, thank you so much for the 2. Katt did this skit, Comic View 1998. Yep. Look at comment. I'm looking at it. Thank you so much for that. Yes. And that he did that on Comic View. He did this whole thing about driving his basically a hoopty kind of thing. You know what I mean? It's funny. And it's a funny bit. And then right after that, somebody put up right next to it Cedric the Entertainer's spaceship. It's the same freaking joke, y'all. It's the same one, except one's in space and one's on Earth. It's crazy, guys. Stacy, thank you so much for the 5. Pick your Aphrodite because it's flat on one side. Yep. Erykah Badu. You got to check that out. K-Bragg, thank you so much for the 5. Steve blended that lace front. LOL. Yeah, he did. The whole community was fooled. All of us were. And Katt Williams put that ish out on blast. He said, that lace front, you out here faking it. We all know you bald. Man. And then guess what? He went straight bald. That's when I was really surprised too, because honestly, it was like one day he had hair, and then the very next minute, it was like this new revamped, like, Steve Harvey. You know what I mean? And he has no hair. I'm like, where did his hair go? His hair was gone. What? He's bald? Like he had a clean bald, okay? No Caesar, no low fade, no nothing. Just bald. I'm like, damn. So he's been bald this entire time? And then as soon as I asked that question, somebody else was like, oh yeah, he's been bald for a long time. He's been wearing a hairpiece by. I'm like, damn. Is that for real? But I'm like, okay, I guess he got tired of faking the funk. And also, how long can you rock a high top hairpiece where it's still going to be in vogue? You know what I'm saying? Where it's still going to be stylish. At some point, you're going to have to retire that hairstyle. Not everybody's going to enjoy you rocking the high top haircut. Maybe nowadays, because, some of the old 80s haircuts and stuff are coming back, but at the same time, Back then, things were changing. You know, he not once changed that hairstyle. It was the same high top forever. That same box fade forever. That's crazy. Okay, let's continue. K Braggs, thank you so much for the 10. It's really sad that for black men to get on, they have to do a mocking caricature of black women, emasculating, plus the denigration of their female counterparts. Exactly. Especially the matriarchy. Let's not forget that. It's poking fun at the women that also raise us black men and women out here. Let's not forget the mammy, the mama, all that ish. And they use that as a joke all the time. And you got somebody out here who's making billions of dollars off the wig of a caricature. Let's not forget that, because that is very true. And people eat that stuff up. Oh, I love me that show. Oh, I love me some Medea. Can't wait. So on and so forth. Hey, to each their own. If you enjoy it, you enjoy it. It's fine. But at the same time, when you start seeing this all the time, it's like, damn. So the trope is every black comedian has to have a big mama's house. I think it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Hercules. Oh, yes. You know what I mean? Yes. Hercules. You know? Even that, it's like, damn, can he got to be. And don't get me wrong, like, Eddie Murphy's incredible, okay? Let's not forget his voices, his characters, all that stuff. He's done everybody from a old Jewish white man all the way to a overweight nutty professor. He's played it all. It's incredible, but at the same time, it's like, damn, you know, again, really? Hercules, Shanae with Jamie Foxx, when Jamie Foxx is an incredible entertainer, incredible, but he still has to be Shanae. You know what I'm saying? Well, okay, moving on. K-Bragg, thank you so much for the 20. People calling Katt salty and bitter is wild. The man don't bother nobody, just does his thing, minding his business. Nobody minds his business so much, but I hear what you're saying. I get what you're trying to say. He only came out of hibernation because these dudes was on the press tour throwing dirt on his name. See, that's the thing. I'm wondering if they were on their press tour throwing dirt on his name only on Club Shay Shay, or were they on other platforms talking that mess too? You know, were they talking crazy somewhere else as well? That's what I'd like to know. That's the one thing I'm still trying to figure out. Was it Shannon Sharpe's platform alone that these guys were out here talking crazy, or somewhere else as well? I'm curious. But thank you so much for the 20. I appreciate it. Okay, today's sponsored, by the way, sponsored by K-Bragg. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Jonathan Hurt, thank you so much for the 2. Katt still snaked Ali Sadiq. He know different. Interesting. You know, I don't know that story. I'm interested to hear about that story as well. Okay. I am very interested in that story as well. Man. But, man, people just, y'all are, hold on. Don't forget to put in the your thoughts in the poll. Yeah, I'm assuming whoever, we definitely have a troll in the in the chat for sure. It's all good. It is what it is. They out here. But yeah. So yeah, I mean, you know, it's interesting. I'm curious about what this all is. No, my mods are in the chat. They're holding it down. Okay. But I appreciate it. You know, they'll take care of that. Some people just, I don't know why, are just crazy. Anyway, K-Bragg, thanks so much for the 10. Pull up Kevin Hart talking crazy on the Breakfast Club. I already played it. Nobody ever seen Katt do anything but the trees, but put drugs on him. Remember when they tried to say Dave Chappelle was on crack? Yes, I remember that vividly. Okay, extremely vividly. I remember the articles that were being written about him. I remember the whole thing. I remember it like it was yesterday. I'm reading a full-on article, I think, out of Rolling Stone at that time, the Rolling Stone magazine, before everything went digital. This was during that time. And they were talking about him walking away from a $50 million deal, right? And they were trying to make it seem like he just lost his marbles, which is insane, right? And again, we're in this kind of same situation where same thing that was being said about Monique too. People are like, oh, she's mentally unwell. She needs help, so on and so forth, right? Plenty of people saying all kinds of crazy stuff. And it's sad because you got somebody who's most likely telling the truth, their own version of the truth. I mean, I'm hoping, but they're talking crazy in the eyes of other people, you know, and that can be very dangerous in that, you know, when it comes to that. I mean, I don't see nobody losing their life or anything, but people are talking crazy out here. Okay. Okay, let me show you guys this too. And yes, I agree. Yes, the silent ninjas. Yes, keep up the good work, Pascal mods. Yes, shout out to the mods for holding it down, because I don't know why people are upset about this conversation, you know, but people are trying to make time today. That's crazy. All right, but I got a couple things I want to share with you guys. Just some more stuff, stand-up stuff.
A gallon. Can't even pump gas. $4 a gallon. Can't even pump gas like you used to no more. $4 a gallon? You remember when you used to go to pump and put the nozzle in there and hit it? Be sitting there talking, be on your phone. Hey, what's happening? Be walking around, cleaning the windshield. Speaking to gay, girl, what's happening? What you doing? Hey, you. Hey, dog, hey, you go in there, bring me a wine cooler. Bring me a cooler, dog. Not no more. Ain't nothing going on at that pump except you and that pump. Your ass is looking at that pump. Give me some. Give me some. 4401.
Hold on, there's more to this. There's a reason why I'm showing you guys this.
Now, what is gas? $600 a damn gallon right now? I don't care how much money you got, gas is entirely too high. That's all I'm saying. You are not supposed to be at the gas station making life decisions. You just at the pump. Just, Negro, did I eat today? I can't get no half a tank. I got 6 cigarettes. I can't even do it. They done messed up the whole gas station experience. Used to be, if you had $10, $15, you could go to the gas station with confidence, because you knew you was either going to be full or damn near full. If you had a 20, you ain't even talk to the person at the counter. You just 20 on 11, bitch. They done messed up the whole gas station experience. Used to be, if you put $15 in your tank, you had time to bond with your vehicle. You had time to put the nozzle in and set the clicker and look through your car and clean off the dashboard and look through your CDs and Run in the store and get some Pringles and a Snapper, and it'll still be pumping. Now, if you put $15 in, you can't even turn around good for that son of a bitch click. As soon as you put it in, just click, click. There ain't no damn gas in that car.
I'm sorry, it's hilarious. Okay, it's hilarious. Okay, that's Katt Williams. Same type of joke. I wouldn't say it's stolen because you got to remember everyone's going to be talking about gas prices or shoot when the Rona was around. People are going to be making jokes about that Rona, right? The poke and all that. Everybody going to be talking about stuff, right? There's a lot of common things that people are going to be making jokes about. Would you say that that's being stolen? I don't know about that, right? It could just be, like I said, common jokes or common topics. Common topics are going to be commonly talked about, you know? That's just my thoughts on that piece. I got another one from Dion Cole that I want to play for you guys here.
Yo, I was just sitting here thinking, and do me a favor. Anybody that do interviews or anybody know him, Katt Williams, if you're ever around him, ask him, how much money has he given away? Just given away. I just ask him that. Just be like, how much money have you given away? If you're around him, if you're interviewing him, just ask him. Because it has to be insane. Katt is one of the most generous people that you ever gonna meet. And a lot of people don't know that. He don't get a lot of press and love for that. One of the most generous ever. He's had to have given away, I don't even know the number. It has to be crazy. Because there's a lot of people with stories about him giving money to. Case in point, I remember I was at the Comedy Store performing one night, got off stage. And this was like early on, before really a whole bunch of stuff was happening for me. I get off stage and everybody like, man, good set, good set, good set. So many people saying that. Some girl came and put something in my hand and said, good set, but I didn't see her. I just heard her and she walked off. And I thought it was like a phone number in my hand. And when everybody walked away and stuff, I looked in my hand and it was $1,000. And then I looked out in the audience trying to find the girl. And I'm like, man, I can't remember her face. And I couldn't see her. And I was just like, who gave me $1,000? But anyway, I just was like, wow. And later on, about a month later, somebody told me that happened to them. And they said Katt Williams was in the audience. And I put two and two together and was like, wow, he did that to me then. He never tell you. He never makes it known or any of that.
That's fire.
So if you ever around him, ask him. If you ever around him, ask him, how much money have you just given away? And I bet
that's interesting. Because he even says in the interview on Club Shay Shay, he even says, yo, I have girls that, I got girls that work for me. They go over to these shows. If I thought they were great, I thought that the comedian was funny, I'll make sure that they got a little money in their pocket. I'll show them a little gratitude, that kind of thing. He's like, and some of these guys, are broke as hell. So imagine them getting that little blessing. What's wrong with that? And shoot, now even Dion Cole, who is also a very funny guy too, okay, is coming out here and saying, these are the truths. That's the truth. That's very much is the truth right here, right? He has blessed me with money out of nowhere. I didn't ask for it. He just gave it to me. That's dope, and that is backing up what Katt Williams was saying on that interview. We got another one from Gary Owen. Let's take a look at that one.
And we always say, like, just be honest. Don't say something behind my back. Whether you like Katt or not, he's not going to talk behind your back. However he feels about you, that's how he feels about you. Now, he did say one thing. He talked about Ricky Smiley and he talked about when Ricky Smiley went on Club Shay Shay, Shannon Sharpe's podcast, which is a great podcast, especially for, I know I'm a white guy, but for my demographics, and I'll get into that in a minute, what Katt said about me, but for my demographics, you know, Club Shay Shay, I'd rather go on Club Shay Shay than Joe Rogan. Even though, okay, I got to get into I got to unpack this podcast, because Katt made a comment where he said, why you think Gary Owen, who's a white guy, has been doing stand-up for 25 years, hasn't crossed over. And when he said it, I was like, wait a minute, was that a good thing or bad thing? And I literally had to go to Twitter and start asking people, was I catching strays or what was that? And they was like, no, they were saying you haven't sold your soul. That's why you haven't crossed over. You've been consistently you, and that's why you haven't, quote unquote, crossed over. So I was like, oh, okay, that made sense. Now, I'm not going to get into it, but I've been, I was in an awkward situation one time where I can't say for 100% this person was trying to make me do something, casting couch type deal, but
hold on. One thing, yeah, Katt Williams did talk about selling souls, right? Ones that are willing to do whatever the hell he can, you know, to make it to the next level. Remember what Christian Keys said, you know, not taking the scenic route, taking the fastest route to stardom, getting their chance at the brass ring, you know, being offered to do something unthinkable by selling your booty. Okay. By selling, for most men, by selling your, you know, virginal booty, as Katt Williams eloquently put in the interview. He's like, I'm not willing to give up myself and my virginity, okay, to get, you know, to get the prize. I'll do it my way, right? And he said the same thing about Gary Owen. The reason why Gary Owen ain't getting the accolades or the, you know, becoming that next household name, right, is because he has not been willing to sell his soul. And that's dope. Okay. He's like, I'm not willing to, you know, give up my virginal whole kind of thing. Right. A lot of these dudes, I'm not sitting here saying all of them, but a lot of these dudes know exactly what's going on behind these doors. These casting couch things are really real out here in these streets. Let's keep it a buck. They all have a story about their experience. Sometimes it has to do with their virginal parts, okay? And sometimes it just has to do with women in power as well. Let's not forget that too. But let's hear what he has to say. I'm going to roll that back a little bit.
Oh, okay, that made sense. Now, I'm not going to get into it, but I've been, I was in an awkward situation one time where I can't say for 100% this person was trying to make me do something, casting couch type deal, but it felt like it. And I was like, is this that point where I've always heard, would you suck a dick for $1 million?
Damn.
And I was thinking to myself, and I was in this office in this room going, well, this is I'm about to answer this question. And the answer was no, I wouldn't. So now I listen, I can't say for 100% that's where it was going, but it felt like it. It felt like it. You got to be in the room to feel it. And I was like, oh, this dude is really coming on to me.
I mean, that is a question that would never come out of, and I mean, literally, you're sitting there going, hey, you know, ain't it a beautiful day? And the guy's like, yeah, it's really beautiful, you know? Would you ask some D for $1 million? The what? Homie, we just met. The hell you asking me this for? What? You know what I'm saying? And then he's asking you that as he's looking at you deeply into your eyes, like trying to see your soul, right? Are you willing to suck some D for some cash? He's like, no. Huh? Man, I just met you. We just shook hands 5 minutes ago. Why are you asking me about something like that right now? The hell? And in a position of power? You are in a position of power and you asking me that kind of mess? What? Huh? Yeah, that's some casting couch stuff, guys. Yeah, we can all agree that's some casting couch ish. All right, real talk.
Like this is happening in real life. And the dude did it and he'll always remain nameless. I think he was feeling me out. Like, is this dude? And this was years ago. I was young in the game, but I was just like, wait a minute, is this happening right now?
No,
I was like, oh my God. And then I was like, I made sure I made it very clear I like women. I'm not going that route. Blah, blah, blah. So I'm not gonna get into it, but I was wondering. I was like, "Ooh, is this happening to me right now in real life?" So I think Katt was saying I haven't sold my soul, and that's why I haven't crossed over.
Interesting. You know what? This is the thing. Okay, I don't know how the I like women came out. I mean, I don't even know how will you ask some D's, for $1 million, how that conversation came out. But I feel like the guttural reaction is, no, I like women. What? You know what I mean? Like, I like women. What? You're funny, but I like women, so no. You know what I'm saying? Like, how? That's an awkward and very bad conversation to be having out here in these streets. Let's keep it a whole bean real quick. All right. That is some crazy stuff. You're sitting there, you're having a conversation, you're talking about work, possible. We're gonna make you a star, honey. We're gonna make you a star. And he's like, yes, I can't wait. Will you suck some D for $1 million? Say what? Excuse me? You were just saying, we're going to put your name in the stars, honey. Will you suck some D? Huh? Where does that conversation even come up? In a conversation of, we're going to build your career into something substantial. Okay? Somebody said, what would you do? Man, I'd laugh. Okay, I'm going to be real honest. In that kind of situation, I'm laughing it off. Awkwardly, because I'm going, what? No, hell no. I like the women. That's what I say. I love the women. That's what I wouldn't say it exactly like that. That'd be weird. To be like, hell is wrong with you now? I know what I said was wrong, but what the hell is wrong with you? But no, I'd be like, no, man, what? You crazy, man. No. I'd never do that. I like women. I don't roll that way. Okay, I'm going to keep all my stuff intact. That's just not how I roll. All right. That's literally what I would say. But in a laughy type of thing, because I don't know who's behind closet number 1, 2, and 3 in that office. You know what I'm saying? I don't know my surroundings. I don't want to get jumped. You feel me? So no, I would laugh it off and try to make it funny and try to move on. But then later I'd be like on the phone with whoever being like, I think someone just tried to step to me, trying to get me a part of some freak off or something. I ain't for that, y'all. I don't roll that way. Okay. No disrespect to anybody else who's willing to roll that way. Okay. For those of y'all who are on the other side of the fence, or that some of you straddle the fence, it's all good. That's your lifestyle. As long as it's consensual, good on you. Live your life. Have fun and be happy. But I'm not going to go and subject myself, throw away my own integrity and my own character just so I can play a part on some CW TV show. F that. There's somebody else that's willing to risk their whole life for that and maybe catch some diseases. I'm not willing to do that. No offense. And it looks like Gary Owen was smart as well and said, the what? No, hell no. I like women. Sorry. That's just how I roll, right? But that is everything there. I'm going to open up the phone lines for like a hot minute. I want to hear your thoughts on this, okay? Because I'm curious. Some of you guys are saying, oh, yeah, he's definitely, he's influenced, right? Maybe some of you guys think he influenced Horde out here in these streets. Some of y'all think, hey, what he said is the absolute truth. Maybe he was on one, like influenced, but he also ain't wrong with what he's saying, right? He definitely is very emotional. That goes without saying. But I want to hear your thoughts, because I know a lot of you guys have voted. Okay, keep voting. on the poll. Let me know your thoughts. We got a little speak on it action going on. I want to hear your thoughts on all this. And we're going to keep it short, sweet, and simple. Keep it classy. Don't be an ass. You're an ass, I hang up. That's it. Point blank. Don't take any offense to it, but, it is what it is. Give me a call. We're going to start this speak on it right now. All right? But, I've never had a blatant in your face type of offer, right? Ever, at least that I know of, right? I've never been approached in that kind of way, ever. But at the same time, I know a lot of fellas that have had that kind of proposition show up sometimes at their front door. So even when Christian Keys was saying all that stuff, it's not a big surprise to me. It's not, because it's very common in the entertainment game. Hey, you're on the mic with the Pascal Show. What's your name and where are you calling from?
This is Laura Estrada calling from Monrovia, California.
Hey, Laura Estrada. Happy New Year, sweetheart. Thank you so much for calling in. What's on your mind?
Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Well, I was just going to talk about the Katt thing, and I support, and I've always loved him. And anything I've ever watched on him, or interviews more so, have always been him being honest. And that's part of his brand, or that's part of his act, is being just ridiculously honest. And that's honestly, he seems authentic. And I'm not a huge fan of Steve Harvey, because I feel like he sold out a long time ago, and I miss Bernie Mac and all of those comedians. But I feel like this is also like, it's almost kind of like a Me Too movement for men that seems to be happening lately. And I'm all about supporting it, because we don't talk about that. People don't talk. I mean, I worked in production and stuff in Hollywood back in the day, and I had a boyfriend that looked very effeminate, and he used to get hit on all the time, and had all of these crazy stories of it being the other way. Like, so I think a lot of people don't want to talk about the stuff that goes on background for males. And I think this kind of is opening up a discussion that nobody wants to talk about. And it being comedy is kind of ironic, because, you know what I'm saying? It's comedians coming out and talking the truth. And that's usually the people that talk the truth are always the comedians.
Yeah, I mean, I will say this. I mean, the comedy world has been turned up on its end right now. A lot of people are reacting to this. And there's a lot of people that are, it's very polarizing. It's split the room. Some people are very much on Katt Williams' side. Some people are saying that he's just lying and he's just some bitter old man. To me, I'm kind of in the middle. I think that there are a lot of truths that he's saying, but I think there's a lot of things that he's exaggerating on because of his frustration and anger towards maybe things that have happened and things that he's run into during his whole career. But again, Club Shay Shay gave him their platform for him to say all of this stuff. And now this, hopefully this will be the last time, right, that we hear him say all of this stuff, because he just aired everything out in one sitting, right? But as far as the Me Too part, there were no claims. There were parts of him saying, I've been offered this, this, and this, but he never said I was a victim to these particular things. Like, oh, this guy did this crime on me and all that. You see what I'm saying? So it is, it's Me Too adjacent. You know what I'm saying? But not right on top of the spotlight, if that makes any sense.
It totally makes sense. It's just, that's something I've just been noticing lately. Just kind
absolutely.
Of in the,
it's been out here.
It's coming up more and more. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I was kind of went, oh wow, like now this situation is kind of hopping, piggybacking on all that kind of stuff. So it's just an interesting time, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens to his career after the fact. Because sometimes it either makes it worse, or people all of a sudden become more interested in his stuff. So that could be also part of it too,
Yeah.
Right. When he's gonna, obviously, I'm sure a lot of people that don't really know him are gonna Google him up or look him up on YouTube. So You never know, Pascal.
This is going to be interesting for sure. But Laura, thank you so much for calling in, sweetheart. I appreciate it.
Of course. Happy New Year.
Thank you, sweetheart. Talk to you soon.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Hey, you're on the mic with the Pascal Show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, hey, Pascal. My name is Vanessa. I'm calling from sunny California.
Hey, Vanessa, what's on your mind? Speak on it.
First of all, great show. I'm
Thank
so
you.
happy you're covering it because you've always kind of, to me, you always come off kind of non-biased. So it's always good to, have it presented that way.
Yeah.
But I have to be honest, I am a Katt Williams fan. I love him.
Hey, and there's nothing. There's nothing wrong with being a fan.
Yeah.
I think that it's a situation where there is, like I said, I think that there's truths and I think there's some lies. Like it's kind of playing that game, like truth. Two truths and a lie. I'm not saying that they're lies. I just think that they're exaggerations of the truth, if that makes any sense.
Right. There you go.
But go ahead.
I think Katt is a natural exaggerator because that's part of who he is with his stand-up. That's why he's so awesome. To me, he's an absolute natural. And that's why so many people like him because he's real. Do I agree with everything he said on the show? I would say basically yes, and I agree with you. I think there's certainly some exaggerations, but for the most part, I believe he was definitely telling the truth because Katt is not one that goes around and runs his mouth a lot. Okay, so that's number one. And number two, I definitely believe that there is some jealousy there because he's a natural. And again, he brags about his shows because his shows do sell out.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't go by what a man says, go by what a man does, right?
Right.
So I love you showed the clip of Katt going around and giving people money, not even mentioning that he does that. That speaks a lot about a man's character. That's hard, in my opinion.
You know what? That's hard truths. Okay. That's hard facts. I mean, that shows that he's not here for the clout, at least when it comes to his generous and charitable ways. And he's basically saying, like, I understand what it feels like to be broke and still be out here enriching people's lives with laughter and still not getting the right payment or, getting paid properly for the skills that they have been working on and crafting for years, maybe decades, and still haven't gotten the chance to get on. That is an amazing thing. And I love the fact that he's giving back. I'm curious if other comedians have done the same. You see what I'm saying? So
if they did, we would have heard about it.
True.
Because that's how they are. They run their mouths and talk about what they do.
No doubt.
And Kevin Hart is one of those. He'll run around, I bought this one on, I bought this one. Katt doesn't do that. He's very low key. So for somebody to say he's just bitter and all, that's insane because he's literally, when he went on, Shannon Sharpe's show, he was defending himself, basically.
Right.
He was answering to all the things that had been said about him in the past. And he was just addressing it. So he has a right to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, he does. And again, this thing called receipts. People can check out everything that he said to see if he's telling the truth.
Yeah.
And he really is. And he's not known to be, and like you said, that's why I agree with you a lot. Exaggerating, yeah. I definitely saw some exaggeration in there, just like you said. Yeah. But outright lying, no, I don't think Katt doesn't have a reason to do that. He's still going to have sold out shows. He's probably going to have even more sold out shows now.
He definitely is. I mean, but like I said, if he started his own podcast, if he started his own podcast, he doesn't need Monique, but if he started his own podcast, this would be a whole other conversation. God. I'm telling you right now.
When you said that, I was like, oh my God, that would be amazing. 2 truth tellers, and watch how truth tellers are treated. They're treated like the plague, and they're telling the truth. And then later on, you start to see truth come out from other people telling it. With Monique,
right?
Monique felt vindicated, and Katt as well. I mean, these guys tell the truth, but they come off as bitter. or angry, like you said, or drugs, or they're crazy. And it's just, it makes sense. If people really sit back, 1 + 1 = 2.
Yeah.
So is Pat perfect? No. We know he's been arrested. We know he's done some kooky things. But it still does not mean that he's not a solid guy. It still doesn't mean he's not telling the truth. And he's still funny. Nobody can take that away from him.
No, they can't. That is definitely very true. He is a very funny guy.
I definitely want to make a comment about Gary Owens.
Go ahead.
Listen, Gary Owens, that's very admirable for you to, with the caller you had before, I agree with her in regards to, not Me Too, but just letting everybody know in the world of entertainment, men are approached as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Now, whether they succumb to that or not, that's up to them. But they go through it as well. And this is really showing that.
Yeah,
a lot.
I will say that I'm hoping that this, what happened with Christian Keys, whether it's real or not, I do want to say, whether it's real or whether it's real or not, the claims that Christian Keys put out there, because we're still waiting on that information. I still say that thank God it happened, because it's going to lift the lid off of things that I think a lot of men as well, because it happens to women. We already know, okay, from HW and Harvey and all that stuff. We've heard these claims about these terrible things that these women have gone through. I mean, we remember we got the list. Okay, we got a list for the littles as well. You know what I mean? But when it comes to this, it's finally lifting a veil off of the men's sides of the story. It is very real.
Exactly.
A lot of men have sacrificed everything. Sorry, say again.
Right. It's more shameful for a man to come out to say a man did that.
Right.
I'm not saying it's not shameful for women. It's horrible, but it's even more like it's like questioning your sexual identity at that point.
It's crazy.
It's and you're a man. Men are not supposed to say stuff like that. So
never,
it's
right?
Definitely, that's pretty bad. But I just wanted to address the Gary Owens. Good for you, Gary, for not succumbing and saying, would you do that for $1 million? Listen, I know women that do that for a Happy Meal. Okay, brother? So,
Yeah, I mean.
We started, I'm like, you guys are such big babies. I'm like, women, we do that all the time, and they take us to McDonald's. So what?
Yeah, right. Wow. You said
I'm sorry,
that.
Just a little bad joke.
No. You said that though. But yeah.
I'm like, I've had some dates in the past. I wish they'd have given me $1 million.
Yeah, man.
But no, all joking aside, because it's just want to be a little lighthearted. But am, I'm glad that he did speak out about it. Once again, letting people know that this does happen in the entertainment business.
Oh, it most definitely is. And I'm hoping that this unearths more men to step forward, and more women too, to step forward and actually just tell their sides of their stories. Because there's plenty of women that have gotten, Oscar nominated performing, or scripts and movies and roles because they were willing to, do some unthinkable things in that agent's office and all that. So hopefully we get some more people stepping forward and speaking more truth on that, because I think there needs to be a rejuvenation and a new approach in Hollywood.
Like it, right?
Yeah.
It looks like it's happening. We had Cassie that came out. To me, it started the ball rolling. Now you have the Epstein list coming up. It's like it's all happening at once. And I hope it does make change for the entertainment business, because the respect level out in the streets is zero.
Yeah.
It's bad.
It's really, really
so
bad.
Hopefully there is some change there for sure.
I hope so too.
So thanks again, Pascal, for taking my call.
Anytime.
Great show.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Talk to you soon.
Have a good one.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye. She is not wrong. I'm going to close out the show, close out the speak on it. No more speak on it. Okay. I'm going to close that out because it's been a long show already, but I appreciate everybody who's trying to call in. Hold on. no more speak on it for right now. Okay. But there will be more conversations. We'll have more conversations here in the very near future. I promise you that. Okay. But hold on. Okay. But the thing is I agree. You know, there's a lot that was talked about. There was a lot of things that he said. There was a lot of things that he said in just 35 minutes in the beginning of this whole doggone interview that is pretty crazy, right? And it's mind-blowing to me that sorry guys, I'm still here, but it's mind-blowing to me that there are not a lot of people that are willing to step forward and talk about those things. Because I'm sure Kevin Hart, I'm sure Steve Harvey, I'm sure even Bernie Mac, I'm sure all these people, all these individuals, these stars that have been in the movies, TV shows, big time stand-up comedians, I'm sure they all have had their fair share of stories that will probably rock all of our worlds, right? But of course, they won't say it because they most likely are getting paid to not say anything. You see what I'm saying? Oh, yeah. You know, he even said it in the interview. Oh, you know, you get paid to not say anything. You get rewarded for acting like it didn't exist. That thing that happened to you didn't happen. Now, the question is, you know, Gary Owen came out because he's not one of the people that's a part of the machine, at least not yet. Right. So I'm wondering if and when other comedians, actors, creators, musicians, that you name it, models, all of them are willing to step forward and tell their side of the stories. You know, this happened to me as well. Like I was there and these guys offered me these things and they invited me to these places and all that. So I'm wondering if there's going to be more coming out. Now, when it comes to, you know, from other people, but when it comes to NDAs, maybe some of these people just get offered. You got to remember when Gary Owen came out and said what he said, like when he had that conversation with that person, he's like, are you willing to SMD? Right? I'm sure there was no NDA in front of him saying, can you sign this really quick? And as soon as he signs it, right? As soon as he puts down his John Hancock, he goes, that person goes, are you willing to SMDs? You can't talk about it now because you signed that NDA. No NDAs going on there with Gary Owen. So he just came out with all that information, right? And of course, you got to remember too, sometimes these questions or sometimes these pieces of information never come out because no one's asking the right questions. Let's not forget that too. These people are not asking the right questions. You see what I'm saying here? So of course he's like, oh, well, now that we're talking about that, I'll tell you my story. And yes, I've been propositioned in this type of fashion before. And it was a casting couch thing. And at least it felt like it. And maybe that's the reason why I'm not this household name that everyone says I should be by now. Because I didn't S some D's. It's very interesting. Okay. Oh, yeah. Same thing with Amy. Amy Main. Okay. Same thing happened to Brendan Fraser. Same thing happened to him. He spoke out. And he's had a very long and I'm sure difficult career until the walrus. And that what it's called? The whale? The whale. I'm sorry, the whale came out, which apparently is a really an amazing performance by Brendan Fraser. But again, he came out and spoke out. He was blacklisted. Terry Crews, I'm surprised, wasn't blacklisted. But I think it was because everyone's reaction was they just made fun of him. Everyone just laughed instead of actually hearing what he had to say, which is very sad. But now there's a new turn. Now there's a new approach now. I'm hoping that things will change and more people speak out because they should. They really, really should. But of course, you know, I put up the poll and I got a couple super chats, so I'm going to get those. But let me stop this poll. 447 votes. I appreciate all y'all for putting in your thoughts. I know that a lot of people, you know, kind of went off to check out this press conference and all that. I will be covering it in a little bit. I don't know what it's all about, but I will cover it as soon as I get a chance. Okay. But I said, do you believe Katt Williams? 89% of y'all said yes. That's wild. Out of 447 votes, almost 90% of y'all said yes. That is wild. K-Bragg, thank you so much for the 20 to the super chats. Thank you. Katt's interview is at 15 million views in less than 48 hours and got the gatekeepers shook. I agree. Gatekeepers are definitely shook right now. For sure. That goes without even question right now. Okay. That's why they're out here responding with shots without addressing his claims. It's the year of reckoning. Truth is powerful. Yes, it's very true. I think there's one thing that has never been unearthed ever, or has ever been unearthed, at least successfully, is the dark underbelly of Hollywood and how they really move out here in these streets. And sometimes it's quid pro quo. You do a little something for me, I give you this role, right? Oh, you're hot. You give me a little something, I'll make sure you're in that movie. I'll make sure your name is written in lights as long as you do X, Y, and Z. It's really messed up and it's disgusting, but Hollywood definitely has those elements in it for sure. I'm not going to sit here and say it's all disgusting and bad, but there are some dark parts of Hollywood, and some of those mother lovers take full advantage of their power for sure. One other thing I want to point out before I go into this other super chat, I was watching this documentary about, so I'm a big film buff, okay? I love movies, right? Love movies. One day I hope to get one of my scripts on camera and made into a movie as well. It would be amazing to do something like that. So I'm a big film fan. I love movies, and I love hearing stories and hearing documentaries about how certain movies were made. And I was watching this documentary on YouTube about the making of it's a Tom Cruise movie about the cars. Now I'm forgetting the name. Days of Thunder. Okay. Where they just talked about how much money they spent, how it was a certain amount, and then it almost tripled the amount. The budget tripled over time during the actual production of the movie, and how much of a pain in the ass it was to make the movie. But one of the things that was being said was how one of the producers, because it was Don Simpson and Jerry Bruckheimer that teamed up, and it was a Bruckheimer-Simpson production. Okay. And they were basically creating like the big 90s movie. Okay. And with Tom Cruise and all that. And there was one particular excerpt from the movie, or from the documentary, that really blew my mind about specifically one of the producers, Don Simpson, and how much of an absolute tyrant this mother lover was. So in this excerpt, they said Don Simpson would just, while he was being interviewed by this biographer, the biographer says in this excerpt that this guy did a line of blow, was drinking, picked up the phone while he was drunk and high, called up one of the writers that he knows on speed dial, and continued or began to berate this writer, saying he is nothing, screaming at him on the phone just because he could. He even says this in this biography on how he's like, yeah, my schedule is this. I drink, I do a bunch of lines, and I call up the whoever I can to give them hell for the day. If there's a producer that's willing to do that, and that's what they consider part of their day, imagine what that guy was willing to do with a young starlet that's trying to get into that next Tom Cruise movie. Imagine that. How they're abusing their own power in that way, calling up young aspiring writers and just going in on them for no reason, saying that they're trash. That person, maybe that is leading that person to go drink, or lean on drugs or do something unthinkable to themselves, like ending their own lives. I'm just being real. And that's just one powerful, extremely powerful man in Hollywood. I mean, he passed on, he had a heart attack and all that, clearly, because his lifestyle was absolute trash. But at the same time, let's not forget the legacy he left behind of being just a complete a-hole in the industry. But he had all the money and he had all the say-so, which is really sad. And you got all these people that are willing to bend at the knees, hopefully not at the hips, willing to do whatever they can to be a part of that movie, to be standing next to Tom Cruise, Nicole Kidman, or whoever else, whatever other movies he's producing during that time. It's really sad. But again, people are willing to sacrifice everything, even their virginal holes, just so they can get a shot at the brass ring. And a lot of these mother lovers that are up in that position of power know exactly that too. And they leverage that like a mug. Real quick, thank you so much, Kay Bragg, for the 20. Thank you so much. I mean, she's been coming in with some love today. Thank you, Kay Bragg. You from all the super chats, thank you. You are actually the chats, the show sponsor for the day. So thank you so much for all your support. It really does mean a lot. You say people have bought the Cat on Chemicals narrative, but someone who can relate to watching lives destroyed by drugs. You couldn't pay me to try anything. I wouldn't even take pain meds after surgery. Those who know. Exactly. I mean, it's scary, you don't want to take something that's highly addictive, and next thing you know, you're addicted and you out here in the streets, penniless and homeless. You don't want that, right? It's scary, right? And we all know that some of these pharmaceuticals are dangerous out here. Even though they're FDA approved, I mean, let's keep it real. They can be real. They can be real dangerous out here, y'all. Real dangerous. Okay. But again, it's sad out here, guys. And I am very, very interested to see what comes, how things transpire from this point on with Katt Williams and all the other comedians that he called out, because he called out the lot of them. Okay. He gave some love to a couple of them, but then there were some other ones where he was like, and you. He said, I got cases. I'm putting cases on everybody in this mother lover. Okay. Lilith, thank you so much for the €6. I appreciate it. Thank you for the super sticker. I really do appreciate it. Okay. But that's what I'm saying. No one's ever really successfully called out and has exposed the casting couch elements in Hollywood. And so, Debbie, you're absolutely right. It's been around since the beginning of time. Okay. Since the beginning of Hollywood. For sure. But I'm waiting to see if other people will step forward and actually have the balls to speak out, men and women, and unearth this whole thing, right? Have I even seen Crossroads? Isn't that the one with Ralph Macchio, the blues guitar player? Yes, I've seen it. I haven't seen it in a very long time, but Crossroads, yes. Ralph Macchio, right? Blues guitarist. I love the blues. So yes, I love blues music. So yes, I've seen it, but it's been a long time. Okay. Very, very long time. If that's the Crossroads you're talking about. Okay. Yep. There we go. But yeah. So another one. Very interesting. Okay. There's been a lot of claims on a lot of producers and a lot of directors as well. We'll see if more people speak out and step forward. Okay. But that is the show. I appreciate all y'all for being here. It really does mean a lot. Big show. There was a lot to bring up and look into. I may be back on in a couple hours. I need to take a little bit of a break, eat something and all that. I know that there was a press conference. What that press conference entails, I do not know yet. We will watch it as a family in just a little bit because I want to stay on that story with Savannah Soto and Matthew Guetta. So be on the lookout for that. We will be talking about that very, very soon. Okay, guys? But I really appreciate you guys for being here. Okay. Again, all the conversations that we had, please go over to my secondary channel, The Pascal Show Clips. Show some love over there by simply hitting that subscribe button, because I am going to be putting out clips from this show onto that platform in just a little bit for those y'all who just want to get to the main thing. Okay. And, the main topics and all that, you'll be seeing clips from this show over there in just a few hours, okay? And especially the Speak On It segment for sure. So be on the lookout for that. That's going to be happening very soon. Do me a favor, while you're here though, hit that like button down below, hit that reaction button if you're watching on Facebook. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button on YouTube if you're watching on YouTube. If you're watching on Facebook, hit that follow button on my Facebook page, please and thank you. And of course, follow me on all my social medias, okay? The Pascal Show, one word. Join over there. That would really, really mean a lot. That's TikTok, IG, and X. Okay. And I will be talking to you guys very, very soon. Your boy's hungry, so I'm about to go smash some food. Anyway, guys, be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. And I will see you guys very, very soon. Much love to you guys. This is The Pascal Show. Bye.